which is 1297, Locust Manor Wines and Liquors, Inc.
No, this isn't recorded.
Donald?
1297. Oh, there it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Merle.
Could you pull the microphone down? Thank you.
My name is Merle Llewellyn, and I'm here regarding my application for Locust Wines and Liquors located in Queens, New York.
And who are you, ma'am?
I'm Anita Shep. I'll be the general manager of the business.
Okay, we have some opposition here, so they're going to get to go first. So why don't you have a seat for a second?
Good morning, Mr. Lynn.
Good morning. Charles Lynn. In opposition to this application, I'm the attorney for two of the closest stores to the applicant, TKS Liquor Store at 131-18 Merrick Boulevard, and LTT Whiskey Inc. at 134-42 Guy R. Brewer Boulevard. And also with me is Tom Monahan, an attorney, and he's representing Hicks Wine and Liquor, the closest store to the applicant.
Okay.
The applicant is between two existing stores, one on Farmers Boulevard and the other at the corner of Farmers Boulevard and Merrick Boulevard. It's Hicks Wines and Liquors at 138-20 Farmers Boulevard, just 750 feet on one side of applicant. TKS Liquor Store is at the corner of the intersection of Farmers Boulevard and Merrick Boulevard, and it's just 2,050 feet away on the other side. I have annexed as Exhibit A the SLA proximity report to evidence that. There's decreasing sales from all of the closest stores for year 2016. All four of the closest stores showed decreasing sales from the 2015-2016 figures, and I've attached those gross sales figures as my Exhibit B. As far as population for the area, population has been stagnant for the census period 2000-2010. The estimated population for 2015 does show an increase, but and it also includes all of Jamaica, so it's not really centered on this specific neighborhood. But this area has not shown any new construction, either residential or commercial, nor any gentrification of this neighborhood, and my census papers are attached as Exhibit C. It also does not appear that applicant will be providing any new services or products to this community, as the applicant will be only 874 square feet with the back half as storage area. It appears applicant is from Florida with no residency in New York. A previous applicant for this premises, 136-15 Farmers Boulevard, was filed around October 2016, just about 7 months ago, by Beverly Morton, doing business as Morton Liquors, under serial number 1297555. And upon information and belief, that denial was based upon public convenience and advantage. I couldn't give you any more specific information, although I was here that day, but for some reason it's not appearing on the website. It was like blocked out with some other cases for that day. So based upon all the foregoing, public convenience advantage, I believe, will not be served by licensing this applicant, and that this application should be denied. I would just like to add one other thing. Parking in this area is literally none. It is true that's on a main thoroughfare, but it's across the street from a church, even though the church doesn't make up the entire building. It's under a tunnel. Bridged area, and then also across the street there's a large gated area, so there's literally no parking, whereas the other applicants, my clients at least, do have street parking, but the street parking is substantial because Hicks, as you come into the area, is at the very start of this neighborhood, and my other clients do have, especially the one on the corner of Farmers Boulevard and Merrick, that intersection has a huge area for parking as well.
That church has been vacated, though.
Oh, yes, the church is, and it's not exclusive, they're residential on top as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Ford, my name is Tom Monahan, all the members of the authority. My name is Tom Monahan. I'm the attorney for Hicks Wines and Liquor. And the issue in this case, as in all cases for liquor store licenses, is will the public convenience and advantage be served by its issuance? Now, I want to quote Yogi Berra here, and it's like deja vu all over again. This tribunal ruled on January 24th, 2017, that on the issue of public convenience and advantage, that none would be served and the license should not issue. I'm not arguing res judicata.
That's, Mr. Monahan, that's not correct.
I'm sorry?
There was a tie vote in that case.
Yes,
So-
but according to the Court of Appeals, a tie vote is an affirmance. In other words,
It's a denial, but not on the merits.
well, then,
At any rate, we take it case by case, so why don't we ignore that and do what you're going to do?
be that as it may. So now I'm just going to be redundant. I'm going to just,
I don't want you to be. So if you're going to say what Mr. Lynn said, we don't need it.
I'm going to ratify and adopt everything like Mickey Mantle said. I'm with Casey. I'm with Mr. Lynn. Everything that Mr. Lynn said, of course, I have laid out in my brief. But most importantly, it's a fact. But for the three-sentence box that's filled in, but for the offering of internet sales, nothing has changed in this area. It's just, aside from the population being stagnant, nothing substantial has been offered by this applicant that should sway this board's opinion that public convenience and advantage will not be served by the issuance of this license. Thank you for your time.
Okay, I do have one question for you, and maybe Mr. Lynn, you can answer it as well. How many of these stores, since you guys represent them, are bulletproof, if any?
All the stores are bulletproof.
All five of the five closest?
Yes, all
Yes.
5 stores.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
There are some issues that were stated by the previous councils here, and I don't think that some of those things are the truth, because where the Locust Mine is going to be located, it would serve 2 different zip codes, not just the 11434. And another thing is, I want the records to be straight, that I have been a resident of New York for over 30 years.
Don't you live in Florida?
I presently live in Florida, but I am, 3/4 of me is already in New York, back to New York.
So you live in New York now or no?
I'm moving back to New York, sir.
How long have you been in Florida?
I've been in Florida for 15 years, yes.
Permanently, or like snowbird, or
No, yeah, well, yes, I do that, as well. I have,
this past 15 years, yes.
yes, I've been, yes, back and forth, yes.
And how do you know Ms. Ship?
I'm from the neighborhood, grew up with the kids. Relationship between some of the parties, and We always wanted to do this. My history is I've been in event planning and bartending and mixologist, catering as such. We tossed around this idea a long time ago. When it came back up into fruition, I said, well, let's do it. We can do this. And I knew that she was coming back and forth. And like I said, longstanding family friend, call her Auntie Merle. And I said I could do my part and what I can do, and that is basically with the internet, the event planning, the tastings, with the distributorships. Yes, we have an open floor plan. We are not bulletproof. More inviting, top-notch security system. The location, I think, is perfect because it is across from a train station. We're getting population from a couple of areas because, as you may or may not know, Springfield Gardens and Jamaica is right there on the line. The population has increased since the census that was quoted earlier. It's increased in 434 by almost 12% since 2000.
Do you have numbers to back that up?
Yeah, I do.
Where are you getting those numbers? Because I haven't.
Got it from the Census Bureau. In 2010, the population was 59,129. 2015, it rose 11.43% to 65,892. And zip code 11413, 210, it was 38,912. 215, 42,560, increasing 9 by 0.38%. I think there's more than enough people. Yes, there are those circumstances. It's not under a tunnel. It's a trestle for the Long Island Railroad. Locust Manor stop is right there across the street from the store. We can get the commuters coming off.
And I'm looking at your layout, and while you're not bulletproof, it's not an open floor plan.
It is an open floor plan.
Well, the customers come in and they can't get to all of the alcohol, correct? They're blocked off by counters?
No. It's an open floor plan. They can't reach in and get, we have to service them, but they can certainly see it. The back half of the
Right,
store.
so you don't have a bulletproof glass, but they can't go and grab the bottle themselves.
Right.
So that's not open floor plan.
Okay.
It may be slightly more open than the other guys.
Than the bulletproof.
Yes, there's no bulletproof glass, I'll give you that. Okay, do you have any questions?
I just want to look at one thing for a second. Give me a minute here.
Are you going, other than the internet sales, what are you going to do that these competitors are not doing?
Well, I don't think that the competitors have any sort of partnership with the events that go on that I'm known for and I produce quite frequently.
What do you mean?
In other words, we do tastings, we do a combination of, how do I explain it? It's like events within the liquor store that is allowed, more than tastings, more than people coming by.
Well, you can't be a bar, so I'm
It's
having
not a
trouble
bar.
figuring out what
It's
you're
not a
talking
bar.
about.
When you go to a place and you're trying different liqueurs and liquors and so forth and so on, it's called a tasting, like a wine
Right.
tasting and stuff like that. We've done it with a
So you're saying they don't hold tastings and you
they
plan on
don't-
holding tastings?
Not to my knowledge, they don't.
Okay,
We're a little bit more, I think, friendly to the public and inviting.
okay,
One of my clients does do tasting.
okay. Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
There is one change to this from the last time when I voted for this and the chairman voted to disapprove, and that's that we have all of 2016 numbers now. And I'm looking at all of them, and they've all decreased from 2015, except for H&Y, which is the furthest away. For that reason, I'm going to vote to deny because I don't see that there's a public convenience and advantage that is necessary. You seem like a very nice lady, and I'm sorry to say that, but I have to vote to deny.
I'm going to vote to deny as well on the same grounds. Commissioner Ford, as he pointed out, every store except the furthest store away from you made up of the 5 closest stores, their sales have shown decreases, particularly in the last 12 months. And some of them are significant decreases. So that, to me, shows that there's not the demand for another store right now. I think you'd be good candidates. I think it's the wrong location. So I'm going to deny.
All right, we're going to move to Buffalo. First item there is 1366D, JGR Hops, Inc.
Are we, everything's recorded now, right?
I hope so.
Me too.
1366D.
Good morning, members of the full board. My name is Jake Yurkowski. I'm joined here by the licensee, Aaron Mikas, and we're here to talk about a conditional no contest charge that has been submitted. And if I could, I would just give a little background on the bar, and then I can get into the time that we're offering here. The bar was opened in 1972 by the licensee's father, Joe. He's present today. Since Aaron, the current licensee, has taken over, the charges that are subject to this conditional discharge have not taken place. They're all pre-existing to his actual ownership. And Mr. Mikas has taken great steps to try to right some of the wrongs that have occurred in the past. He's purchased an ID scanner, he uses a UV light, he's primarily the individual sitting at the front of the door checking IDs to make sure that they're valid. He's turning people away all the time. This bar is his sole source of income, something he's very, very proud of. It's well lit, it's clean, it's well liked. They have a great core group of customers that come in, and the bar's been around for 25 years because, save these incidents here, it's been run very well. And the licensee knows that he wants to continue this bar for another 25 years. So he's taken a lot of steps to sort of change the way that underage college students are dealt with, and to give the reputation that it's a place that they're not welcome. They've offered to work with the local college. They've been denied that opportunity, but they'll continue to be open to that. And they have a great relationship with the police.
You've offered to work with the college how? You're asking
provide-
them to give you a list of students' birth dates.
Well,
They're
in
not going to
addition
do
to
that.
I understand that. In addition to that, respectfully, they've asked to give seminars and talks about the importance of having proper identification and not engaging in underage drinking. Those have been rebuffed by the school.
Well, how about just keep them out of your bar?
Well, and that's what's happened. Since Mr. Mikas has taken over, we haven't had these issues.
And you seem, has everyone taken the ATAP, or they're going to take the ATAP training? That works for them?
Sure. You want us to?
We will absolutely do
Yes.
that.
So they haven't done that, or they have?
They have not, but we will offer that as a part of the conditional no contest. There's 4 employees. They've all been there in excess of, the newest employee's been there 2 years, 8 years, 25 years, 40 years.
And I'm the first to recognize that there are certainly false identifications out there that have every indicia of being real.
Yes.
There, however, is technology, because I know there is because we have it, that is almost foolproof in identifying these identifications. I don't know whether the scanner you bought is one of them, but I think if you contact the prosecutor, she could tell you. And that, I've seen that scanner work. And if you put a fake ID in there, it spits it right back to you.
Great.
Exhibit D, all those licenses, are those all licenses that were retrieved from the toilet, from the bathroom? Is that what they are?
No, they're just examples of IDs that have been confiscated by the licensee.
Okay.
So they're really doing they're doing their due diligence, and they've really taken some steps to try to make things right.
What's closing hour in Chemung County? Is it 1 o'clock still?
Yes. 1 o'clock, and service stops at about 10 to 1.
All right, I'll accept this as long as everybody takes ATAP, and then I know you bought a scanner, and if you didn't buy the right one, it's pretty much worthless. But there are 2 out there, I don't know the names of them, but I'm sure Ms. Gallagher could find them out for you, and I would recommend you buy one or the other, because they are almost foolproof as far as identifying fake IDs. You may have gotten it already, I don't even know.
We'll look into it and check. They want to be compliant, so we'll do whatever we need to do.
But I'll accept.
So we're accepting 10,000 plus a 20-day suspension?
Yes.
Here you go.
All right. Thank you very much.
The next items are 1327 and 1328, MJ Entertainment Incorporated.
Good morning, Chairman and Commissioner Ford. Sean McKenzie appearing with MJ Entertainment sole principal Jack Horning. We're here in response to a conditional no contest plea on 2 disciplinary charges.
I'll accept.
Accept.
Thank you.
Next item is 1353, AA and HB Corp.
Good morning once again, Commissioner Ford and Chairman. Sean McKenzie appearing with AA and HB Corp's principals, Hari Barakat and Andreas Emanuel. This is a liquor store application to be held at 2067 Niagara Street, Buffalo, New York. The store, if I could just give a little bit of a brief synopsis, the leased premises is 5,400 square feet. However, that is not the size of the store that the applicants are seeking to open. The total space they're seeking to have licensed is just over 3,000 square feet. And of that 3,000 square feet, the square footage of actual retail area would be 1,408 feet.
So what are they doing with the other 2,000 square feet?
It's going to be blocked off. And if necessary, their landlord is here as well and could speak to that. But that area is to be blocked off. Frankly, applicants, rightfully so, don't believe that area can support a store which would utilize the entire area. They are hopeful that they'll get to a point where they will be able to make application years down the road to expand. But as a new business opening in that area, as I said, rightfully so, I agree that the footprint which they're seeking to have licensed is far more appropriate for the area. If I could speak a little bit about the area, it is a highly urbanized area. Niagara Street runs north-south, virtually right up against the Niagara River. Only the 190 thruway is a more heavily traveled north-south thoroughfare for the west side of Buffalo. The closest liquor store, Gambino Liquors, is about 1.1 to 1.2 miles away, which in a community like this, which is, as I mentioned, highly urbanized, much of the population either utilizes public transportation or it's foot travel, pedestrian travel. For individuals living in the direct vicinity of the proposed premises, a walk to and from Gambino's is a 45-minute walk. And although there are 4 stores within 2 miles, Gambino's is the closest, as I mentioned, at 1.1. The others are farther away and more towards the northern Kenmore area, which is technically not a part of the city of Buffalo and is a little bit of an isolated community.
What are the hours at Gambino's, and is it open 6 days a week or 7 days a week?
I don't believe.
I'm wondering because their sales have gone down significantly over the last 2 years.
Well, also what's happened is within probably 1,000 feet of Gambino's is the Amherst Liquors, or Wegmans Liquors, whichever you want to call it, Amherst Wine Partners, which is, for lack of a better term, a superstore. I believe that store is over 15,000 square feet. Gambino's.
Okay, you're probably right. That's what it is. Okay.
As I look at this, it looks like they did take a dive, Gambino's, in 2015, but that was after 3 stores
Opened, right.
opened in 2014. So I think that might be a reason why, but it looks like they have rebounded a little bit in 2016. It looks like they've come back up in 2017. Isn't reported, so.
How do these two guys know each other?
Well, Mr. Barakat is originally from Canada. He moved to New York and attended Monroe Community College and then finished his bachelor's degree at Buff State. Andreas Emanuel has lived in the area for at least 10 years and has worked at a convenience store for the last 9. Mr. Barakat, after completing Buff State, started working at the same convenience store as Mr. Emanuel, and they became friends. Although Mr. Barakat received his bachelor's degree in English education, his parents, own a fleet of cabs in Toronto. And Mr. Barakat spent his late teen years and into his early 20s helping his father run that business. So he decided that he wanted to run his own business, as his family always had. So Mr. Barakat and Mr. Emanuel discussed among themselves, do we want to open our own convenience store? Do we want to open a new business? What is the business we want? They decided on a liquor store. And they spent the next year and a half scouting out.
Does any of Mr. Emanuel's family own liquor stores?
No, I have a friend of mine. He owns liquor store. So I go there and sometimes I just train myself with him. So he was helping me.
And what about Mr. Barakat? Do any of his family own liquor stores?
No.
No.
Okay.
Can I have just a minute to talk?
Yes. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Ms. Chairman, any questions?
Sure. No, I don't have any others.
All right, I'm going to vote to approve based on the fact that actually all the stores are actually on an increasing plane here. Even the one who was the closest one to you, who did take a dent after the other 3 stores opened up in 2014. So I'm going to vote to approve.
I'm going to vote to approve as well. The closest store is 1.1 miles. There's 5 stores within 2.2 miles. 4 out of the 5 stores have shown consistently increasing sales over the last 2 years at least. So it appears that there is a demand for another store, so I'll vote to approve. Good luck.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Chairman.
You're welcome.
Next item, also in Buffalo. Sorry, the next item, also in Buffalo, is 1336, New Generation Liquors, Inc.
Step up to the podium and state your name clearly for the record.
Sure. I am Anthony Sapienza. I'm the agent for the licensee, Melissa Knight.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Melissa Knight.
So your father used to own this store?
Yes, my grandfather, my father, and then before my father was my grandmother.
And he abandoned his license. Why? What happened?
He just got into some issues with his sales tax, and he had some other things going on with his bar, and he decided to close down the liquor store.
But he never told us.
No.
Did you work there?
Yes.
Is that correct, Chris, that we didn't hear about
Yes.
this until May of this year?
I'm looking it up right now, most likely if it's on the sheet.
How long has he been closed?
Since June 15, 2015.
So 2 years.
And this is a bulletproof store?
I don't believe, I've been there, and it looks like a thick plastic on part of the front, and then a counter, and then a door for the rest of the counter. So you can't go into the area where you could purchase the liquor, but I don't believe it's totally bulletproof, no.
What's that mean? So you walk in the store and there's a big plexiglass barrier?
The first glass is bulletproof. The counter is bulletproof, and then but the door isn't bulletproof. It's just a really big metal door.
Well, can the customers walk around your store or not?
No, they can't access.
So that's
we hand them the bottle.
bulletproof.
Okay.
Well, who are are you aware of the 4 closest stores? Did you find that out, Chris?
Yeah, it looks like we found out because we sent a gross sales letter that did not come back, at which point we were in contact with the previous licensee, and he noted that he supposedly sent his license in 2015, but I'm looking right now, and this particular document says we have no record of that, and at that point, I believe we started a non-bona fide investigation based on these notations from early this year.
Sir, if I might add, I believe it has been a liquor store since the 60s. The grandmother ran it for quite a while first.
There's no question it's been a liquor store. My problem is that she worked at a place that really wasn't, that closed and didn't tell us they closed.
Were you there when he closed?
Well, I left when he closed. Before, like, when he made the decision that he was closing, I left. And from my knowledge, he said that he was gonna open back up, but that never happened. So we parted ways before everything.
When I checked into it, they assumed that it was closed and you were notified that it was closed. When I checked up, I found that the license was still active. And that's when it became known to them that he never surrendered the license.
Okay. What do you do now, ma'am? As for a job?
I work with people that have mental disabilities.
Are you familiar with the Raymar liquor store?
Yes, he's on West Main Street.
And is he open regularly, or?
To my knowledge, he is, but
He's on Jefferson Ave.
he's on Main and Jefferson, so
Okay.
he's in like in a plaza.
No, that's a different one you're talking about.
Oh,
This is the one at the corner of.
oh, Ray. Are you saying Ray Liquors?
I have it called, Theodis Ray owns it.
Yeah.
Yes, he's on the corner of Jefferson and Plymouth, I believe.
Yes.
And is he open regularly or no?
I'm not sure. He's like a hit or a miss.
His numbers reflect it. That's me. That's
Yeah, he's about the same age as my grandma, so he's just, hanging in there. He's like in his late 70s.
yeah.
All right.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
You know,
May I add, if it means anything, the relationship with her dad, because I tried communicating with the dad, he's not communicating with his daughter or his mother because of whatever issues he had. And she has a job that she knows the liquor business and she really wants to get back into it. And she does understand it fully.
So so what you're telling me is he's not involved in this business?
No, none whatsoever. He's not even welcomed in the store.
All right. And Connecticut has nothing to do with it either.
No, she's just my grandmother, and I will be paying her rent.
In
as a
Connecticut, the
tenant.
grandmother owns the building.
Yeah.
But she'll have no other interest in the business,
No.
No, she got to sit down.
none
too.
whatsoever.
No,
She has
sir.
quite the record in her name.
I know, so please do not hold me accountable for neither one of those two.
No, she just has an issue with other issues with the state, but
Yeah.
she's, with the tax situation, but she's really disputing quite a bit of it, but they're working on it.
Yeah. All right. You seem like a young, bright person. You have been in the business, and you've definitely seen what not to do.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we hope.
We hope. We really hope you have.
No,
And
No,
being so
she
that
has a good, responsible job. She's a responsible person. I can testify to that.
yeah, and I'm looking at the competitors. Everyone, your second, third one both have numbers gone up.
Yes.
And the one that's the closest to you, I don't think he's going to be there that much longer at this rate. So I'm going to vote to approve.
I'm going to vote to approve as well.
Thank
take-
you, guys. You guys, oh,
He's
man,
not
y'all
done
don't
yet.
even understand. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. But y'all don't even understand, so thank you.
Okay.
How can you say no now?
The sales have gone up, the sales have gone up in 4 of the 5 closest, and the closest store has sales that just don't make any sense. It looks like he's open less than a couple days a week. In 2016, he literally had $6,000 in sales, which to me means that he can't be open. So as Commissioner Ford pointed out, I don't see him, that store being around much longer. And the other stores in the area seem to all be doing well. There was a store here previously up until it seems June of 2015, and she does have experience in the liquor industry. So I'll vote to approve. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Now you can wave and everything, okay?
Oh, bye, guys. Thank y'all. Y'all won't be seeing me on no bad terms.
The next item is 1253, Crystal Rock Beverage Company.
Good morning. My name is Bruce Michaels. I'm with Crystal Rock Beverages, Buffalo, New York, owner, president, and that's my entitlement. I'm here to represent myself on the allegations of being charged with a name that wasn't in correspondence with my license. I don't know what documentation you may have in front of you as far as what I've expressed here, what I brought in last week, but I showed pictures of wind damage and what have you, stipulating that there were changes that couldn't be made immediately because of the winter season, but are in the process of being made to correct those situations. Black Rock Beverages has been in existence for a considerable amount of time, and always have had something of Black Rock Beverages name out there because that was a manufactured product that was made and the area that we're located in. So there is significance there. I think people would know us more as Black Rock Beverages than if we had Crystal Rock Beverages on the front of the building. And
We don't care. We don't really care what you put on the front of the building as long as you let us know.
Right, but it's always been.
I mean, I guess we do care, but either one of these names wouldn't be a problem.
Okay, well, Crystal Rock was there, but that part of the awning was taken off due to wind damage at one particular instance. I guess time-wise, they took a picture in November, and I was notified in March. And therefore, nothing could have been changed. So then, when the weather changed, we were trying to get the awning situation taken care of, but not being able to put anything up, not knowing what we could actually put up there. So I had pleaded not guilty in the regards that I had expressed since 2010 that there was a picture that was on Google that had Crystal Rock Beverages on the building.
What's on it now?
Well, right now, I'm in waiting. I've got Kohler Awning in the process. They made 3 different choices for me to pick from. The frame is all ready and set. The facade has been corrected due to the now exposed damage because of the weather. So we're all in good. We're all just waiting, and then with the liquor license being due at the end of this month, I'm trying to hopefully coordinate all of that so that can come to fruition.
So what is it gonna be, Black Rock or Crystal?
Well, I can have both names on there if that's what I'm trying to ascertain, what exactly I can put on there.
Can't you pick one or the other?
Well, Crystal Rock would change the whole dynamics of the whole circumstance.
Well, then
Black
put
Rock
Black Rock on it, but you have to tell us. You can't. The problem developed because you were using both, and then the one that was supposed to be on file with us came down, so now it's just called Black Rock. So if you want to call it Black Rock, then go and file a change with us and with the Department of State, which it sounds like you already did, and use it by that name.
Okay, fair enough.
That would be the clean way to do it.
All right, very good.
All right. So you've been in business since what, 1999?
89, me officially. My father had the business back in 59, and then he retired in 89.
I'm willing to go with a letter of warning, just get this all straightened out.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, very good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The next item in Buffalo is 1333, Sri Hari NY Corp.
Good afternoon. My name is Justin Giuliano. I'm the consultant that assisted Alkabin Patel with the filing of this application. This is Alkabin Patel here to my right. Her nephew Raul will be here to help with translation.
Is there any objectors there?
There's no opposition present.
What was this building before?
It was a garage, like a auto garage. Miss Patel, probably about two and a half years ago, purchased the property. It was a gas station, convenience store with a garage in the back in a separate building. 2 years ago, we got Mrs. Patel approved with a convenience store license, which she is currently running. And since she had this vacant building on the property that she was paying taxes on, she thought, what can I do to, kind of counteract against the taxes that she's paying on a building that isn't in use? And she thought, why not do a a liquor store? So that is why we are here.
Does anyone else in her family own liquor stores?
In New York?
No.
Not in New York, no.
Where?
Was it Pennsylvania? In Maryland.
And who is that?
What is his name?
Rasik Patel.
Rasik Patel?
No, what's the relation to her?
Her brother.
It's her brother.
Does she understand what happens if she ends up getting liquor from her brother?
Oh, she is well aware of the penalties for purchase from unauthorized sources. She has every intention of purchasing, as she is currently with the convenience store, purchasing from New York State wholesalers only.
Because not only is it an unauthorized sale, it's a crime too.
Correct. She has no intention of purchasing from anyone other than New York State wholesalers.
is going to run this?
So Raul actually assists with the day-to-day operations and supervision at the convenience store, which will enable Elkabin to actually be present in the building behind the convenience store to initiate the best plan of action as to how the business will run. She will be there hands-on every day for the foreseeable future while she trains somebody that will be able to help with the supervisory role, and then she will then be going back and forth building to building through the course of the day in order to ensure that all laws are being upheld and that the establishments are compliant with New York State law and regulation.
And Raul is a relative of hers?
It is her nephew, yes.
And who's his father?
Mike Kanubai?
Not the gentleman that owns the liquor store in Maryland?
No.
Okay. All right.
You ready, Chairman? I'm going to vote to approve. I actually really, when I was looking at your application, I was pretty surprised that there isn't another store in Montour Falls.
Right.
So, and that the closest ones, they're all in Watkins Glen to the north, so I was kind of surprised about that. So I think there is without a doubt a public convenience and advantage that's necessary here, and I vote to approve.
I'll vote to approve as well. The closest store is 2.1 miles away, and this, as Commissioner Ford pointed out, will be the only store in this village, so there clearly is a public convenience and advantage to the residents of Montour Falls, so I'll vote to approve.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, we're done with Buffalo. And the first item only, I'm in Albany and also New York City, is 1334 Pleasant Valley Wine and Spirits LLC.
Good morning. Francis Buscemi for the applicant. With me today is the applicant's principal, Saray Papatla. I believe there is probably opposition in...
Yes, is there opposition in Albany?
Yes.
Okay, let them go.
Mr. Collins?
Good afternoon, Chairman. My name is Terry DiCarlo. I own Terry's Wine and Spirits in Sewell Point. I'm opposing this new liquor store opening up, Pleasant Valley Liquors. My main reason is I'm a small local business owner. Having this new store coming into the area is going to affect my business extremely. Besides, they're going to be buying more bulk that I can't purchase. I think it's going to take away a lot of my income. And there is a lot of it. There's 5 new stores, not new stores, there's 5 stores in my area. I just think the store is going to take away my income, and I'm concerned about it. I'm struggling now to maintain and keep our business growing. This new liquor store will definitely hurt my income.
How far away are you?
It was like 6 miles? 3.5 miles. And I have 3 other liquor stores, probably 3 miles away from you also.
And you're on Route 44?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Is anyone else there?
Yes.
Mr. Keating?
Yeah. Hello, my name is Robert Keating. My wife and I own Arlington Wine and Liquors since 1983. I'm here to oppose the license. There had already been a store at that location that was open, I think, in 2013. That had failed, and there has already been 2 attempts to get a license in this location since then that have been turned down. And the population basically is stagnant to declining here in Dutchess County, and I don't think there's enough of a body count to support the store.
You're in the town of Poughkeepsie, though, right?
Yes, I'm about 4.5, 5 miles away on Route 44.
You're really close to DiCarlo's.
I'm sorry?
Are you very close to Miss DiCarlo's store?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, you recognize your sales went up $5 million in a year.
I'm sorry?
You're aware your sales went up $5 million from 2015 to 2016?
$5 million? No,
You're Arlington Wine and Liquor, right?
that's correct. They would. No. Yes. No, that 500,000. From 15 to 16?
Hold on, we may have wrong numbers there.
Unless you can't read my writing. But
No, well, that could be too, I don't know. I don't have your handwritten sheet, someone else reads that.
okay. Most of our increase has been fortunately, trying through internet sales.
Is your store 11,000 square feet?
Yes.
And
So, yeah. It's 11,000. Yes.
Yeah, unless you blow it up.
What?
It wasn't written clearly.
What is it?
10.6.
Okay. My mistake.
The comma kind of made it look like a 5.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's.
Oh, so you went up 100, so you went up 100,000 between
Yeah, it's
50, okay.
11,600 square feet is the store. We went up to 100,000.
Okay,
But I wouldn't attribute that to floor traffic. Just
Right.
other things that we're trying to do, so.
okay. Anything else?
I think that's basically the gist of it.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Bush, anyone else up there, or just,
Yes.
okay.
Good morning. My name is Dawn Cotter from Cotter's Wine and Liquor Store. In 2015, an application was made to reestablish a liquor store at 13 North Avenue. At that time, I sent financial information showing how much my store had decreased when Valley Wines and Spirits were open. I also sent, that application was denied for financial reasons and due to the proximity to my store. In 2016, we attended a meeting once again, a hearing once again, because another application was made. I again presented financial information showing that my store had been close to closing when Valley Wines and Liquor Store was open. And again, for financial reasons and because of the proximity to my store, that license was also denied. Nothing has changed in the 11 months since I was last here. I don't see any reason that this store should be approved. Thank you.
There was a store there, hang on a second. Could you come back? Thank you.
Sure.
There was a store there at that location, since like 1972, and the last one was there from 2008 until 2014. And let me think, you opened up in 2012, so the other previous store...
I'm sorry.
Was the previous store that was there when you opened up in 2014, is that correct?
No, my parents owned that store since 1972. When my mom passed away, I took over the store. That was in 2004.
No, I'm saying the store that was in this location through 2014, it was there when you opened up, when you took over in 2012.
No. I took over that store under my mother's, with my mother as an executor in 2004. That store was not open when I started taking over my mother's store.
I'm confused here because it says there was another store there from 2008 to 2014.
There was.
It was.
It was.
It went to the full board. You're talking about E.V. Howard?
Yes.
Yes, that item had gone to the full board as a new store, and at the time, Ms. Cotter's store was, it was transferring family members.
All right.
It was in the estate of.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me to clear that up.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Buscemi.
Thank you. The applicant desires to have a retail liquor store at 13 North Avenue in Pleasant Valley. The location is in a major shopping plaza known as Milestone Square. It's the town's largest shopping plaza. It's comprised of 90,000 square feet of space. It's anchored by a 39,000 square foot Acme supermarket, and it's located at the crossroads in the center of town. It's the primary shopping mall in the area, It's relied on by the community as one-stop shopping to surface consumers' daily needs. As you're already aware, there was Harry's Liquor Store at this exact location between 2008 and 2014. It operated at this location. There were 2 applications which were filed after 2014 for this specific location. One was in 2015 by Empire Spirits and Wine. That application was disapproved by split vote. Therefore, as has been previously noted, the vote was not on the merits. I reviewed the reasons for disapproval. It refers to the split vote and cites the case on split vote, doesn't go into any specifics as to public convenience on advantage for that particular application. The second store that applied there was Hampton Wines and Spirits in 2016. I read the reasons for disapproval with regard to that application. That application, as stated in the reasons for disapproval, the applicant offered no evidence in support of its application, and the applicant did not even appear for the full board meeting. Pleasant Valley is the geographic center of Dutchess County. The residents of the surrounding areas of Hyde Park, Poughkeepsie, Millbrook, LaGrange, Clinton, Pine Plains, they rely on this shopping plaza to meet many of their consumer needs. The shopping plaza services approximately 40,000 consumers a month. The applicant intends on carrying a substantial quantity of New York State wines and spirits, which would comprise approximately 35% of its total inventory. It intends on having weekly wine and spirit tastings. In addition to the tastings, it will have an automated dispensary wine tasting system for consumers to sample wines. Tastings will be done on a bi-weekly basis. All staff, as indicated in my letter, will attend the ATAP course with regard to alcohol awareness and sales to ensure proper compliance with New York State law. The applicant intends on having a delivery service to provide to customers of the store, as well as carry-out service to customers' cars to the parking lot. The store will also have a award point system for its customers. All right. Now, I also indicate there is much new real estate development that has gone on in Pleasant Valley and in the surrounding areas. And that in part is due with regard to Pleasant Valley in that it has upgraded its zoning to allow for more highly dense housing under a designation code HDR, which is high density residential. And the town of Pleasant Valley has worked concurrently with Pace University Land Group to arrive as their consultants in handling this rezoning. As an example, in the Pleasant Valley Poughkeepsie area, known as Stratford Farms on Bower Road in Poughkeepsie, is developing 134 single-family homes and approximately 26 townhomes. A development of homes on Route 44 in Pleasant Valley is approved and ready to build a 175-unit condominium project. Brookside Meadows on Brookside Road in Pleasant Valley has 150 residential units that are going to be constructed. Springside at Van Wagner Road in Arlington is zoned for 75 apartment units, which is in the process of being finalized. Eastern Oaks on Hollow Road in Clinton has 11 single-family units under construction. In addition to that, there are approximately 50 single-family lots in and around the Pleasant Valley area that have been approved to build on. Sawmill Plaza, which is a shopping center, which is right behind 13 North Valley Avenue, is being refurbished and revitalized to increase its business. And as I had indicated 9 years ago, Route 44 was adapted into zoning for both commercial and residential use. So in addition addition, so there's going to be a lot, there is new construction going on, residentially as well as commercially. In addition to that, I gave you a summary of what is known as active major products in Dutchess County. Now, what these are proposed, these are proposed development projects for the entire area of Dutchess County. I gave you a chart which was compiled in December of 2015. And as of that date, some of these proposals, I will point out, sometimes new proposals come in, sometimes the proposals that have been made go out. But as of December 2015, within Dutchess County, there are 87 residential projects proposed with 11,541 housing units. With regard to commercial development, there were 85 projects proposed for over 7.5 million square feet of commercial space. Within Pleasant Valley itself and the surrounding areas of Poughkeepsie, Clinton, Hyde Park, LaGrange, and Pine Plains, just in those areas, there are proposed 41 residential products are proposed for almost 7,500 housing units. Within the same area, there are 43 proposed commercial products for totaling over 3.7 million square feet. So things are looking up in the area all over Dutchess County. This is an area that, as I said, within the area of Pleasant Valley, rezoning is going on for denser.
What's he doing that these other stores are not doing? Or what's he going to do?
What he has seen is, and he is from the area, he's been involved in the pharmacy business. The applicant's been involved in the pharmacy business, and he's familiar with the area itself. And what's going on is Arlington, which is R&V Inc. Most of these consumers, they don't have this liquor store to go to anymore, so they...
Well, they haven't had it for years.
Well, yeah, since 2014, right. And so, you know, they're seeking out, they're over at Arlington. We don't believe that Cotter's is properly servicing the area. What he's going to be doing is he's going to be providing much more service. He's going to be able to have a much more extensive line of product to serve public consumer convenience and advantage. He's going to carry much more by the way of New York State product line, both in wine and spirits, than the other stores are doing. We have given you 2 letters from the town of Pleasant Valley. One is from the zoning administrator, and the zoning administrator's letter, which is attached as Exhibit B, I believe, lays out what's needed, forgetting that it's a retail liquor store, but for purposes of this particular Milestone Square Plaza shopping center, what is required in order to get the store open. The letter finishes, and item 11 is saying that this would appear to be a good use, the liquor store would appear to be a good use for the space in this plaza. But I point also to items 6 and 7 in the zoning administrator's letter, where he says, just as a point of information, since Howard closed, they've had consumers, he's heard himself, consumers coming in saying they wish there was the liquor store over in the shopping center again. And in point 7, the zoning administrator specifically states that the return of the wine and spirit store to this shopping center would be convenient and beneficial to the town's residents. There's also a letter from the town board itself, who passed a town board resolution. In the town board resolution, I'd want to point to one of the whereases, which I quoted, I believe, in my letter. And it says, whereas the town wishes to assist the applicant in expediting the application process so as to allow the business to achieve the greatest level of success by advancing the approval process.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think it's clear, the zoning administrator for the town of Pleasantville, the town board itself.
The zoning administrator doesn't have to deal with the legal obligations that I have to deal with. So whether he thinks there should be one there or not, he might think one should be next door to him. I don't really care. But
he
do
is
you have any
familiar,
questions?
he's familiar with the town.
So am I. Very. I live about 15 miles from it, so.
But and you have the
And I
town
worked
board of Pleasantville itself that feels that this store should be reimplemented in this shopping center.
I had the same impression about the zoning letter that the chairman did. I mean, it's nice that it's supportive, but it's really kind of.
No, both letters are nice because it shows that the town and the zoning board are trying to move things as quickly as possible for businesses, but they certainly don't have to consider what I have to consider.
No, understood, but they feel that it would be beneficial and a public convenience and advantage for the store to be put back into the shopping center, which is the largest shopping center and is used by the areas surrounding it, not only Pleasant
Do you have any
Valley itself. I wish to point out that Cotter's sales have gone up. It's doing 700,000. That's the closest.
You can't have it both ways. You tell me they're not serving the community, yet their sales are going up.
Well, it's not gone up a lot, but it's 7,000, so it's not bupkis. I've given you photographs showing the interior of Cotter's is my last exhibit.
Yeah, no, we have them.
Okay, so, it gives you an idea of how they stock. And the next closest store, Arlington, is
Okay,
4.3 miles.
I don't have any questions. Do you have any?
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
One question, the square footage, 2,600 square feet, does it have to be that large? Do you need that size of a footprint?
It's the exact same store that was there. It hasn't been enlarged for this application, Commissioner.
All right. So what I'm trying to understand here, this store, was it Howard's? That's the one that was there before?
Howard's, yes.
Yeah.
I believe that was the name of it,
So
yes.
Howard's was there and closed in 2014. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. While Cotter's was open. Okay. All right, I'm good. I'm ready to make a decision. All stores, it looks like, have been increasing sales. I'm looking when Cotter's was there, it looks like, I'm sorry, when Howard was there, Cotter's was increasing sales 2012, 13, 14. And even though they are the closest ones that are across the street, the town board seems to support this. Reestablishment of another store in this plaza. I kind of have my questions about that, but I'm still going to vote to approve it based on the support from the town.
I'm going to vote to deny. We've denied 2 prior applications at this location in the last 2 years. And primarily, I realize the second one we denied was really because the guy didn't show up, but the first one he did show up. I was not part of the board then, but Commissioner Kim was. And primarily, based on what I viewed on the video, it was because the closest store is 445 feet away. And I realize that's a different plaza.
Right.
But if you look at their sales, they have increased, but the only reason they've increased is because the other store closed. That tells me, based on the amount they increased, that there's not enough sales in that general vicinity for these 2 stores. And they're there.
I mean, it is in the other store, Cotter's is in its own shopping center.
No, I understand that,
It's on
but
the other side of
I don't, Pleasant Valley is at best a suburban area, and some would call it even rural, so everybody is driving, and I don't think 445 feet adds that much inconvenience to the community. And then if they do really want to see a selection, they can go 4 miles away, and there's an 11,000 square foot store. So based on that, I think that there is enough public convenience and advantage at this time, so I'm going to vote to deny.
All right, have a good day.
Thanks.
All right, I don't have any other items in Albany. Does somebody else have something? Take
No,
those.
they're all set. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
The next item here in New York is 1292, 764 3rd Avenue Liquors Incorporated.
Morning, Robert Swetnick. This is a removal.
What this is that my client was previously here, was approved to do a purchase of this store. What happened at that point is the landlord would not approve the assignment because he was in the process of selling the building. It's a block-long building on 3rd Avenue, so she ended up taking, we did a corporate change, and she took, I believe it was 99% of the stock of the existing store. After the sale of the building went through, we spoke with the new owner of it, which is an investment fund, and they advised us, and we've been following through with it, is that they are basically clearing the entire building of all residents, of all commercial, et cetera. They said obviously they would not be extending her lease or agreeing to any assignment, and if they said what we can do is we will let you out of the lease now. So basically she has about 1.5 years left on the current lease. It is not going to be extended, so she decided to look around for a new place, found another location, which is 1.5 blocks north on the exact same street. So right now, this is a removal, and then eventually we'll be coming back because the 1% owner of the store who sold it to her was not able to operate that store because of a back injury, which is how she ended up buying it, so he'll be basically leaving.
So she only kept the 1% because they would not reassign the lease?
He kept 1%.
He kept the 1%?
Correct.
For that reason?
For that reason
Okay.
only,
All right, based on the fact that this is only moving 0.2 miles, and the 4 closest stores are going to be exactly the same as they are currently, I'll vote to approve.
I'll vote to approve as well. Thank you very much.
All right, the next item is 1296, Chaos One Inc. Chairman and Commissioner, the applicants approached me before the meeting started. Their attorney could not make it today. I wasn't sure there was any opposition, so I'm not sure if they want to proceed today or have it held.
Is there opposition? Who's your attorney? Name?
Mr. Ong?
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry, can you talk?
Mr. Ong?
Samon?
Because your application says Zinshi. So what do you want to do?
I would like to reschedule for the next board meeting with my attorney present.
Okay, well, you guys,
He's the husband of the different liquor store. I think she's the applicant.
No, I'm the applicant.
what's your name?
Chong Song To.
Say it again?
Mr. Chong Song To.
Song Thor Chong?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the applicant.
Oh, okay, because I thought it was a female also, that's why.
So here's the option I'll give you guys, is you can put your piece on the record now, and we'll have it, or you can come back.
You know when it would be?
3 weeks.
It'll be July 12th.
Or if you aren't going to be around in 3 weeks, I'll make it at your convenience, so.
Yeah, because in 3 weeks I have to attend my best man's wedding.
No. You're going to be the best man at a wedding, is that what you're saying?
No, my best man is getting married.
Oh, okay. So what date do you want?
If there's something after July 25th.
What's the next one after that?
July 26th.
So is July 26th okay? Or we can go today?
How about July 12th, sir?
No.
No?
Or we can go today?
I'll take the July 26th.
Okay, is that good for you too? Okay, July 26th. Thanks. You okay?
The next item is 1338, Lefferts Wine Group LLC.
It doesn't. Morning, Chairman and Commissioner. With me is Deb Capone. She's one of the principals of Lefferts Wine Group.
Morning.
Looking at putting in a small boutique store. Oh, looks like there is some opposition.
Where'd all these people come from?
There was nothing in the record.
Yeah, I didn't have anything either.
So,
But let them come up.
Good afternoon, John Springer for First Class Liquor Store, Inc. I did file submission on Friday.
Yeah, we have that, but
Yeah.
I didn't, the application was filed in March. Go ahead.
That's fine. There is one correction to my submission. The closest store, First Class Liquor Store, their sales went up $61,000 from...
Yeah, no, we have that.
Okay, I just didn't want to misrepresent it. Also here, so this is my client from First Class Liquor. Other stores represented here are Best Liquor 797 Inc., the second closest store, Liquor Town Inc., which is the fourth closest store, and 492 Nostrand Avenue, DBA Drink, which is the fifth or sixth closest stores. There are 6 stores within 0.5 miles. Drink is 0.6, so that would make 6. You disapproved a different client of mine store, Caribbean Liquors, back on February 1st. That was about the same distance as this proposed store would be from First Class. It's right around the corner on Flatbush Avenue. It's 1 block over. The closest stores' sales are stagnant. They've been fluctuating between $1 million and $101.12 million for the last 5 years. Best Liquor's sales, the second closest store, they dropped $50,000 last year. The Liquor Towns is stagnant. They're very, their sales are all around the same number. There have been 2 stores in the last 4 years that have been disapproved. Caribbean Liquors this year, and Chauncey Wine and Liquor on Rogers Avenue in 2015, I believe. Most of these stores, if you look at the map I submitted, Liquor Town, First Class, Best Liquor, Island Wine are all on Flatbush on or just off Flatbush Avenue. Red Star is 1 block off of Flatbush Avenue. There's been a lot of pressure for new liquor stores here. I anticipate the applicant's going to try to differentiate. I would point out that Caribbean Liquor was the selling floor itself was 600 square feet, which is about the size of the applicant's proposed store. Caribbean Liquors was going to be an open store. Most of these stores are bulletproof stores because they need to be. They feel they need to be. They've been there a long time. They know the neighborhood, and they don't feel like they could be open. Caribbean felt differently. He was from the area. He felt like he could be an open store, but you disapproved that in February. The Drink, 492 Nostrand Avenue, 492 Flatbush Avenue, excuse me, Drink, is 0.6 miles. That is an open store. It's a boutique store. You approve them.
What's the address of that?
492 Flatbush. It's like the 5th closest store.
6th.
6th?
Okay, go ahead.
It's 0.6 miles away. It was approved in 2014 over a lot of opposition. Most of these people have been here 4 or 5 times in the last 5 to 10 years.
Well, unfortunately, that's the
process. We understand that.
And they chose to open a store in Brooklyn, which we get a lot of applications. We can't control who applies.
We're not complaining. It's just, it just shows the pressure in this area. And you've been disapproving them because of saturation. I'd point out you just did disapprove a store that was 445 feet away. I guess it was an administrative disapproval because it was a split vote in Pleasant Valley. This is Brooklyn, and it's 500 feet from the closest store. I don't know what they're going to say that they're going to offer. There was the last 2 stores that were disapproved all had some sort of differentiation in products. And the existing stores said that either they were covering those needs or there really wasn't that need. I talked to each one of these stores today, and I asked them, can you think of something that you're carrying now that you weren't carrying 3 years ago because customers asked for it? And each one of them had something. One of them said rosé, one of them said the local distilled whiskeys, things like that. And they listen to their customers. If there's something that the customers want, they go out and get it. So the area is, the closest store is just slightly up. The second store is declining. So this, it's very stagnant market.
What you're saying, so other than your store, all the 5 closest are bulletproof?
As far as I know. Well, that's expired. They're out of business. First Class,
Who's out of business?
but it's not one of the closest stores. There was a store on Fenimore Street that their license expired in.
Okay, so the five closest that I have are bulletproof.
Yes. but
Okay.
As I pointed out, Caribbean would have been an open store. And I would point out about First Class Liquor, although they're a bulletproof store, they have an interesting, the client was showing me the pictures today, which are very interesting. They have wine cases that go right in the corridor where the customers come in. So although they can't pick up the bottle, they can go right up to the glass. There's no separation like in most bulletproof situations. It's back off the shelf and you really can't see it. You can go right up to it, read the labels, read the prices, read the descriptions.
If somebody moves it around for you.
No, it's a wall display. You can walk
Okay.
up and down. It's almost like a gallery, like a museum-type gallery. So it's an interesting, so when you think open bulletproof store, it's.
Okay, do you guys want to put your name on the record? Or you just come up to the microphone and, come on, all three of you. Go ahead.
Randy Berger, Chairman for Drink PLG on Flatbush at
And
490.
whatever you want to add, go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to be able to speak once Ms. Hoffman has, because I don't know what they might say. We're an open plan store. We opened last year. We have 824 SKUs.
Which store are you again? I'm sorry.
It's Drink
He's not on
PLG.
there, he's the sixth closest, okay.
Open plan store, built out, sort of a design store.
How far away?
It's 0.6 miles, Commissioner. We were granted our license in part for the promise to carry a significant amount, which I listed for you at the time, of New York wines. And we followed through on that promise. We have 5 from the Finger Lakes and between 10 and 15 at any given time from Long Island. Like the prior speaker, that I'd like to be able to respond to what Ms. Hoffman says, because I honestly don't know what area of differentiation she might pursue.
And what's the size of your store?
850 square feet, Commissioner.
Thank you.
All retail?
The 850 square feet is retail, and we have an additional 850 square feet of storage in the basement.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, hi. My name is Hui Yan. And
Hold the microphone down.
My name is Hui Yan, and I'm representing 559 Flatbush Avenue, Liquor Town Store.
Okay.
Well, they already said what I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
They already say.
Where are you?
797 Flatbush, Best Liquor.
Okay.
Thank you very much. As described in the letter, Deborah is looking at opening a boutique store. Actually, the square footage of the store is 600 square feet. The retail area is around 300 square feet, so it is a small boutique store. It's right at the crossroads of a lot of, I think it was around 750 sort of luxury high-end residential apartments that are not served by the closest bulletproof stores. It's also right across from the Q subway at Parkside, so it's literally across the street from the subway station that is right there and at the edge of the park. It's really ideally situated for people who are walking from the park, going home, you're going to pass this store. It's a small boutique store. She's started renovations. You've seen some of the pictures. It's all open shelving. She does expect to have at least 20% of her SKUs New York State products. The store will be predominantly wine. She's only looking at 10% liquors. It'll all be small batch and artisanal. So you really are looking at putting a small boutique store in an area that is really seeing a huge influx of luxury, it's a gentrifying neighborhood. There are high-end rental and condominiums. Most of the apartments were actually rentals. Literally within, on both sides of this boutique store, which is itself across the street from the subway. I sort of can't imagine a store and a product, the type of business she's putting in that would be more in the interest of public convenience for the influx of residents coming into that area.
And when we say that the neighborhood is changing, how's it changing?
think in some of the articles I showed you, Prospect Lefferts Garden is considered one of the hottest neighborhoods. It was recently identified in a real estate report as one of New York City's top growing neighborhoods. There are at least 10 residential developments. About 5 or 6 of them are open already. A few more are planned literally within half a mile of this proposed store. There are 750 some odd residential apartments being built up. The Parkside and Park Lane luxury high-rise rental apartments literally within half a block on either side. So people who are coming home to those apartments would be coming home by the Q train, and the store would be right across the street from there.
And these are all high-end apartments, or?
Yeah, yeah. I would say mid to high range. I think that, you could probably find something for 2,500 as your starting point. I've had my office staff look at some of the apartments. The one condominium building starts at 430,000 for your entry point. Yeah. I think one of the articles describes it as, I'm looking at prices begin at $1960 for a studio. It's a different market than the existing stores are serving.
And what's her background in, does she have any background in this artisanal wines that she wants to have, or?
My business partner has more of the experience with the artisanal wines. I'm the business person. I own 3 preschools, and I have been running the business of another wine store for the last 2 years.
And what's his background?
He
As far as the wines, I mean.
just classes and studying it over the last 7 years, drinking it.
And how do you know him?
Well, he's my friend, but our sons all play in the same band together.
Okay.
We've been friends for about 9 years.
I think one of the maps I showed you identified actually all of the residential units and the number of units in proximity to the proposed premise.
Did you get population numbers for this neighborhood, or zip code?
I did not. I'm not even sure that just zip code would do it. What I was looking up was specifically for Prospect Lefferts Garden. I don't know which zip code that encompasses. So the articles and the numbers that I have and the number of units coming in that are not currently are identified in that area, one of the area maps that I gave you.
Okay.
You can see just, there's 250, like half a block, just along the southern edge of Prospect Park, coming online. There's going up towards Flatbush, there's 254 apartments being built, and along the park a little bit further up, there's 87 units. And the 626 Flatbush is, I think, open, and part of 123 Parkside is open, and the second part, it'll be 2 buildings, is underway.
Okay.
So, and you said you plan to be mostly wine?
We're going to be about 90% wine, and we won't be selling any of the big brand stuff. We're using all small distributors, and focusing on low intervention wines with about 50% of our inventory will be organic or biodynamic or natural low intervention wines.
And again, the retail space of this store is around 300 square feet.
Gentlemen, I'm sure you have something to say.
I would just point out that we submitted those same articles about Prospect Lefferts Garden in February when we were here, about the building, and to make an argument, another small store in this area wouldn't upset the industry. You ruled against it. We understood the reasons. They accepted it.
Well, it's also a different type of store. You weren't proposing what she's proposing. You were proposing to specialize in Caribbean alcohol.
And small batch Brooklyn distilleries, whiskeys and things of that nature.
Mm.
You've been consistently finding saturation.
And I don't remember when, but she's checking on something for me right
They
now.
expired 11/30/2016.
Okay.
That came up in February, and you were aware of it then. Not much has changed. This application was filed after the last one was disapproved. It's a similar size.
All right, we've heard all this, though. Something new you want to add? Sir, you had not known what their business model was, so if you want to respond to that, you can.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. The Chairman just said that Caribbean, that prior application which was denied was a different kind of store. Our store is not a different kind of store. It's exactly the same kind of store.
No, I remember yours.
Yes, I'd be pleased to show the Chairman, picture of our store, if you care to. It says boutique on our business card. We told you when.
No, I remember approving it.
When we applied here, we differentiated ourselves saying that we would carry almost all low production wine, which we have done. We carry biodynamic and sustainable right now. Let me address the point of the park line. The park line is not even close to being across the street from the applicant. With due respect, that just is not true. The address of the park line is 626 Flatbush. I've personally met with the building superintendent where we've mounted substantial campaigns in that building and other large buildings going up. We delivered 240 gift cards to them. They're coming in. I've met, as I say, the other building superintendents.
Go ahead.
On the point of the subway, my store is immediately, there's no building between my store and the Q line, the Q subway.
What's the address of your store?
My store is 492 Flatbush Avenue, Chairman.
That one.
That's number 6.
Okay, you can keep
We
going.
serve these buildings. We have a relatively small store. It is certainly a boutique store that is trying to meet demand for.
Deliver?
We do deliver. We bought a bike. We hired somebody that does delivery. The park line, which applicant mentioned several times, as I say, is a specific and very important target of our store. As I just want to emphasize again, we know Hudson, the people that built that, the building superintendent has.
Well, I mean, that's fine that you know them. The questions, in my mind, is you're still a half a mile away.
I won't.
No, I realize you deliver, which obviously lessens that distance.
Earlier this year, we bought a new bicycle from a store, a motorized delivery vehicle. We hired somebody whose name is Jordan Parker. He does our delivery. He logs 40 hours a week. We consider delivery to be an important part of our business model.
Yeah, and you're pretty much on as much on the edge of the park as the applicant is.
We are right, in reality, our address is Flatbush, but there's no building except for MTA between us and Ocean Avenue, which applicant's store is at approximately Ocean and Parkside, I believe. Right. So we are near the park, they are near the park.
Right, all right. Thank you.
Anything else, Chairman?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Hoffman, any last words?
I mean, I clearly think that given the amount of development and the number of apartments coming in, with the influx of people, there's certainly room for 2 stores within a mile of each other. They're not that close. They're 2 different subway stations, and again, the square footage, the retail square footage of her space is 300 square feet. I think even combined with the 2 of them, I mean, right now, if you only have 1 boutique store in the entire vicinity to serve all of these developments, that's a pretty low number, and you have otherwise a collection of bulletproof stores. So I certainly think that given the location at the convergence of the park across the street from a subway in an area with 700 units coming on board within walking distance to her store, that this store is in the interest of public convenience and advantage.
Right. Ready?
Yep.
I'm going to vote to approve based on the fact that the small size of your store, the fact that it's going to be 90% wine, boutique. The other boutique store is the one that's furthest away, number 6. And the fact that you're open floor plan. So on that basis, I feel that convenience and advantage could be served to the public, so I vote to approve.
I'm going to vote to approve too, based on the small size. It is only 300 square feet, and that 90% of your product is going to be wine, which I'm going to hold you to. And then I'm also going to, since you've offered 20% New York products, I'm also going to hold you to that. And that it's an open floor plan.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Commissioner Ford, you okay with those percentages?
Yes, yes.
All right, the next item is 1351, Aura Entertainment, Inc.
You want to take a, it's a quick read.
Hello.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, do we have any opposition here?
I represent Aura Entertainment. With me is Quincy Thorpe. If you may recall, we appeared before you. This was essentially a transfer application. He was purchasing the assets of the existing licensee, which was owned by his mother, and we came here to settle some minor charges in order to allow issuance of a temp, which was nonetheless disapproved. So now the business has been closed. This is essentially Aura Entertainment taking over the assets of the existing operation. Mr. Quincy has been involved in some of the management, but his mother is stepping out, and he's looking to take over. No change in the DBA.
Well, what do you mean some of it? The information I have is that he managed it.
I have my mother.
Well, how often was your mother in the place?
Well, I work at the time. She would be there during the day, and when I get out, I will be there in the night.
Which, it's a club, so
No, it's not a club.
what would you call it?
It's a bar lounge. It's not a club.
Well, based on some of the charges that were,
I'm not aware of any, the charges that we had one
well,
example.
we got a lot of negative comments from the community board as well as
I put in a FOIL request, and I didn't get much opposition. I didn't see opposition from the precinct, and I didn't see,
well, I didn't get anything from the precinct, but they've made it clear through the community board and then a letter that I received yesterday, which you're welcome to see, since that wouldn't have been from the local assemblywoman. Well, I just received that yesterday.
I'm just saying, I'm not aware of this establishment. I know the prior establishment was very troublesome and had serious issues, but I'm not aware of major issues that Aura has had since Aura opened.
Ms. Hoffman, just for the record, I just want to be very clear. Regarding those charges you were discussing earlier, it's my understanding that the full board disposition that came out on 4/10/17 for a civil penalty after the charges were sustained, that was never paid, and therefore the license, and a suspension order did go out. Is that correct?
Not that I'm aware of. The license had already expired. We were settling it subsequently.
And we fined $2,400 and were never paid.
It was paid, but my attorney paid it. And the application, and that's why we granted the reconsideration.
I know Anthony Carabello had been working on the application and had been back and forth, so I'm not familiar with what happened as far as.
The information I have is that we're owed $2,500 and that the former owner of the establishment is on the wholesaler COD list, which indicates to me that they were in some type of financial.
Ms. Hoffman, you were here when the board rendered the $2,500.
Correct.
Okay, that
Has not been paid, correct?
I wouldn't have gotten notice of anything, and I know Anthony Carabello was back and forth as far as issuing the temp on, I don't know whether he was speaking to you or to someone else in licensing, because I didn't file the application.
Can I say something in regards to the wholesaler?
Sure.
That was also cleared up back in March.
It may have been cleared up, I don't know, but I know that when the place closed, they were on the COD list. Now, did you identify yourself in 2014 as the owner of this place?
No.
To the police?
No.
And other than those, I think this letter describes repeated violations of of SLA regulations and Good Neighbor. Again, I'm not aware that they relate to Aura and the.
Well, I looked up yesterday. Hold on one second. The community board indicates that he's been basically operating this place as a club for 2 years, and they've sent us advertisements indicating that, and whether it was him or his mother, the direction from us was that they were to close at 1 o'clock. The advertisements indicate that their parties are going on until 4 a.m.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay. In regards to Aura Bar and Lounge, as you know, as you're aware that.
Well, see, before you get into that, Aura Bar and Lounge, in my mind, is you.
Okay.
So whatever they did is attached to you.
Okay, understood. But prior to us opening in 2013, the community board had an issue with us opening because of the previous owner, which was establishment was Matrix, and it had a lot of issues with underage drinking, et cetera, et cetera. When we took over, none of those things ever happened, and my mother and I made sure we attended every SLA NYPD quarterly meeting to be aware of everything that was going on. When Aura Bar and Lounge opened, we had no issues, no summonses, not anything for 2 years.
But they've handed me advertisements from Aura Bar and Lounge indicating that your party goes till 5 a.m.
That's impossible.
I
understand what you're telling me, but
I'll show it to you. October 23rd, 2016, 5 a.m. Ticket type, free admission before 1. Everyone parties absolutely free and ladies get 2 for 1 rum punch. That's not you?
No. That doesn't make any sense.
And here's another one. I have another one. Aura Bar and Lounge. Saturday, 12th of March, 2016, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Doesn't look like it's one of the companies that.
Well, how about this one? I mean,
can I say something also, something else? I spoke to the police officer in charge of special ops, and I told him that 2 doors down, there's an establishment. I don't know anything about that. And there's 2 doors.
You don't know anything about that? It's off your Facebook page.
You said.
That's not your advertisement. You have no idea what that is.
Chairman, the Facebook page hasn't been updated in 3 years.
I get that, but that's from March of 2016. The community board found that. You're telling me that that's not an advertisement for your place?
No.
Can I see that again? You got to be out of. Then someone's out to get you.
Clearly, and this is what.
So you did not have that party on March.
No, and this is what I wanted to address also, that a lot of the complaints with garbage and noise.
This isn't a complaint. This is an advertisement for a birthday party at your establishment. Sean is 22nd, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. when your bar's supposed to close at 1. Are you telling me you've never been open past 1?
I have been open past 1.
How often?
Not often, but we sell food. We sell food. We stopped serving liquor, and the police officers came in before, and they saw that the bar was closed, and we were serving food. But we got a lot of complaints from the establishment 2 doors down, which I took pictures over the years, that would operate till 5 o'clock in the morning, and we would get blamed for that.
Ms. Hoffman, what am I?
What are we missing here? Something is.
Everything that he's saying is in complete contradiction to what I'm hearing from everyone else.
I'm not seeing that advertisements. My understanding was that.
Well, to be honest with you, having reviewed this, since you come in here quite a bit, and I've said this, and Ms. Held will back me up on this, I was somewhat shocked between the contradictions in your letter supporting this place and what we have showing what has gone on there.
I was not aware of what had.
I assumed that. mean, did you have security before?
Always, always. Because of the previous business, we were operating on pins and needles because we didn't want any issues. And this is why I had to do what I did here, right in front of me, which is I wanted to show you.
Go, you can show me, but I find it hard to believe that you've never seen that before.
When I put in a FOIL request, I didn't get any of the,
I don't even know I don't know why you wouldn't have gotten it. I don't know if we had it then or not. But we certainly weren't hiding it from you. What do you want to show me?
I mean,
I don't know.
I'll let you, I'm not sure what you're.
Well, pretty much the other establishment, 2 doors down, in regards to the other complaints with the noise and the garbage, that does go to the wee hours, and you can see that the days that we're closed and they're open and operating, and I took it upon myself to take the pictures to have
Well, you
it.
just admitted to me that you've been open till 4 o'clock, and your hours were supposed to be to 1.
No.
When we came and we settled the prior law violation, my understanding was that it was a private event that had run over, and that was the only.
And since then, we've gotten a lot of input that there's apparently a lot of private events that go on here. And can we step outside for a second?
All right, we're back on the record now.
Some of the information that we got is that you've been open when not licensed,
What do you mean open?
serving alcohol at the location without a license. The worst thing you can do is lie to me right now.
I had a baby shower at the establishment, which was a private event, and
Served alcohol.
yes,
And is it fair to say you also served alcohol regularly on Friday nights?
negative. We were closed. When the license expired, we closed the next day.
Because we sent an investigator out.
Yeah, but we're closed, so he couldn't have seen anything because we were closed.
6/2/17, 7 p.m., one of our investigators went into your premise, sat at the bar, ordered a Jack and Daniels whiskey with Coca-Cola. The bar was fully stocked. After being served, he went to the 63rd precinct and reported you to the NYPD.
Right, that was the one time that happened, and
He wasn't invited to the shower.
and in
The
regards,
best thing you can probably do is withdraw this, and I don't even know if I'd recommend you try again, but based on the investigator's report that I have here, there's no way you're getting this license. And the information that we have, the only reason we ended up there is because somebody was complaining that you were open. That's the only reason we got there. So you're basically trying to tell me half the truth. You were open regularly on Friday nights.
Chairman, I have no reason to lie.
And I hope, I have a letter of support here from Senator Parker. I hope that you didn't lie to him about it.
I have no reason to lie. And in regards to the bar being fully stocked, I was unaware that I could not have liquor in the building while waiting for the license application.
Were you aware you couldn't serve it?
Yeah, that I knew. And,
Well, you served it to our investigator.
That was a private party, and
He wasn't invited. So how'd he get in? He doesn't know you. He doesn't know the people that were having the party. He has no clue who these people are. He went because we sent him there to buy a drink.
And the person that had the party let him in.
A bartender let him in that served him the drink. This is what I'm saying. Ms. Hoffman, this is what I'm saying, is that the evidence that we have is completely in contradiction to everything that you've submitted. And I recognize that's not the way you practice, so I'm going to assume you weren't aware of it either. But
Handle the original filing of this application, so
Well, and I also see that 3 C summonses were issued from the police for illegal warehousing, for sale without a license, and for operation of a bottle club.
And you weren't aware of that?
Yes, I was aware of that just happened. That's what I was saying in regards to the liquor. I didn't know we could not have anything in the building while we were waiting.
No, the bottle club means you're serving it.
We're serving the liquor?
Yeah. And our investigator justified that. So, I mean, I don't know that we need to discuss it anymore, but I think obviously that the community board knew more about this than we did until we sent our investigator out, and the assemblywoman also knows more about it than we did. But it's obvious that whether you have a license or not has kind of been irrelevant to you. So I don't feel the need to give you one.
You got the NYPD, the community board, and the assemblywoman all adamantly against this.
For that reason. So I'm voting to deny. And then stop on the location and a name stop as well.
Same here.
give it back.
The next item is 1366H, GRE Wine Incorporated.
Good morning, good afternoon, Commissioner Ford, Chairman Bradley. My name is Thomas McCallum. I'm here with the applicant principal, George Elvey. I've given you 2 submissions, an initial submission of advocacy and a supplemental. I am aware that there is opposition here. So
Are they here? Come on up.
Good afternoon, Chairman Brady, and good afternoon, Commissioner Ford. My name is Chang Chin Lee. I'm the owner, Uncle Danny Cellar Inn.
Which one? Uncle Danny, okay.
Yeah, Uncle Danny Cellar Inn, which is the second closest to the applicant store, GRE Nature. My store is only about 1.2 miles away from the applicant store. In the 2.5 radius of my store, there are currently 3 liquor stores right now. I would say that's a highly saturated in this small and 90 populated community of Whiting River. Make the thing worse, the population in the Whiting River has decreased in the past few years. Per U.S. Census Bureau report, The estimated population for the year 2013, 2014, and 2015 was 8,021, 7,694, and 7,762. I also noticed there's no any major residential or commercial development in the town, which is currently going on or will take place in the near future. Also, in September 2013, the town of Riverhead enacted the law which will restrict the rental to the minimum 30 days. In the summer, there used to be a lot of people visiting Whiting River for the short-term vacation. This visitor could bring substantial business to the park and mall store like mine. Since the short-term rental ban, there has been fewer visitors coming to Whiting River. The short-term rental ban, along with the population decrease, has caused the shop sale decline on my store considerably in the past 3 years, or actually it's 4 years. The sale on my store was for 2016 was merely 900,000, down almost 30% from 1.23 million in 2013. And I do not expect there will be any improvement for 2017 as well. I noticed that Alpine, the liquor store, the close to the applicant store, also experienced the decreased sale in 2016. I purchased the store in January 2016. We have been trying so hard in many ways to keep a business afloat. We constantly add a new item of wine and liquor, especially the local produced or biodynamics one. Currently, my store is carrying more than 200 SKU local wine and 50 plus SKU organic wine. I believe that we have more choice on local or organic wine than most stores in the surrounding area. We give a discount to the senior, veteran, policeman, and a fighter, and sailor. We established the wine club, which allows the customer to earn a point while purchasing wine. We do delivery at a customer request as well, and we conduct a tasting on regular basis. We have tried almost everything to promote the public convenience and bring the public advantage. I don't know how the GRE would do anything different from what we are doing right now. And I don't believe the GRE will add any public advantage and convenience. I would say it's opening. We only merely make my store to suffer more on the top already depressing sale. So I strongly urge the community, we deny the application.
Okay, thank you.
In my submissions, Commissioners, I did use an expression which I learned years ago when I started in this business, a trading zone. And I did not submit demographics. I'm not looking to make the argument for Wading River and its demographics. The sales are there. The store east of us, the nearest store east of us, has $7 million in sales. What the gentleman is describing is probably the cluster of stores along the retailer, but we're not looking to...
Who's this store that's east of you?
EHP in Riverhead.
Oh, I see, okay.
$7 million.
Yeah,
So,
yep.
again, we're not looking to be a market disruptor. The trading zone was the term of art that I learned, where you create your own market and you create and develop your own market. And that's what we want. And that's why I spend so much time on the shops and developing for you a sense as to what it's all about. I mean, we have the retail stores, which are all opening. We have petitions of support. We have the letters of support. George Eldey is probably the most knowledgeable individual I know, and it's going to be through his energies as an owner-operator and his expertise. He's been a solicitor in this industry on Long Island, where he also lives, out on the eastern North Shore. He knows this intimately, and he didn't just stumble into this.
And his store is located in the courtyard, right?
That courtyard, I gave you the directory, which shows all the stores as the retail
So
mix.
really, the only customers, because it's obviously not convenient to park and run in and get a bottle of wine, it's going to be, your customer base is going to be whoever's shopping at these shops.
It's going to be who's shopping at these shops and more. I gave you photographs of the inn at Eastwind, which in
Right,
and of
okay.
itself is a destination.
Right.
So the developer there has been successfully operating for approximately 20 years. He developed this as an ancillary business for his stores. It's a destination for East End bus tours. People heading east for weekends. It's an oasis. It's a rest stop where people come in. There are restaurants. There are shops. We're not looking to compete with the other stores. This, in and of itself, with George's expertise, and he can speak and champion his own cause, will be more. The hotels in Riverhead advertise the shops at Eastwind. So what we've created here is not a market disruptor for the existing stores. Our proposition, and I know it will be successful, this is not a zero-sum game where everyone's going to be stealing business from each other. George, through his expertise and his connections and his knowledge, he's going to develop a new market and a new patron base, and he's going to amplify that. So what we have here is George's opportunity. He's waited years for in 1,000 square foot retail space, 1,000 retail, 377 feet of that will be storage. It's a 1,400 square foot, 1,000 retail. So again, he's presented, which I've given to you, a superb marketing plan. George is not going to compete. He's been in this business too long to compete head-to-head on price and on product. As he mentioned, if one retailer is carrying a product, George is going to carry another. His knowledge on East End wines, and as a solicitor, all the vineyards out there, in fact, the letter that I supported, of support from Wolver Estates, the president of the Long Island Wine Council, is here advocating, trumpeting George, and he can do it. I mean, this is a public policy argument, and between the location, the shops, the complementary fit of the shops, and George expertise, it's a winner. I mean, there's a market out there. If you have a store that's 6 miles away that's doing $7 million, what's going on for the gentleman who spoke? That's something that is going on. He bought the store a year and change ago. The shops have been marketed for 2+ years, and George was aware of it, and George took the entrepreneurial step to sign a lease and come in and make the impact. And this is the public policy argument. This is the public convenience and advantage. We have 200 parking spaces here. I've been there. I've seen people come there and spend time, and they walk around, they go to the various shops. They're locals. He's a local. They're all local. So we're not looking here to disrupt a market. We're going to create a new market. Last week's board, or the last board meeting, there was a Mataron that I observed, and it was upstate.
You actually watch these things?
You bet I do. I watch them at home. And I was watching it, and that was the one with the casino upstate, and that was a 14,000 square foot store. Now, something like that's a market disruptor. We're not. That was a destination location. The Inn at Eastwinds is a destination location.
Where is the inn located?
I have a photo.
Reference to the store.
It's one of the exhibits. If you just take a quick look, or I can show
I've
you.
been looking at the diagrams, and I can't. Is it where the restaurant would be?
That helps you all.
Is that it?
No, I will show you right here. There's a photo, there's a very good photo of it. It's in the background. I have it right here.
Yep.
Here you go. This is what we're discussing right here. This is the shops. This is the inn. Look, you can see the shops we created, and that's
Okay, all right.
right then and there.
Yeah,
So where's
it's across the parking lot.
It's across the parking lot. There is
Go ahead.
This is where we are. That's just right there.
There is access, and I'm directly next door to a cheese and spice market.
Okay.
Show me on here where you are.
Okay, so, all right, so the entrance is right here.
Probably be here.
I am here. There's one building there. There's a cheese and spice market. There's a tea place. There's an olive oil place. There's a yoga restaurant is being opened there. Trying to use ice cream and Starbucks?
It's all retail.
Or retail, small, 24 small,
This is the
independent.
parking lot, Chairman.
Family-run business.
And that's the in the parking lot, there you go.
Okay.
And there are 800 hotel rooms 6 miles away.
All right, thank you.
So again, the sales at the other stores, they're reflective of that market, but again, Mr. Elby.
But it goes back to what I was saying before. He's on the interior of these stores, so it's not like people are making the convenience stop to buy a bottle of wine with him. They're going to make a special trip because they either want his expertise or they're using those shops.
That's correct, and that's where, again, when I use the two, when I reference the two elements, convenience and expertise, he's got the expertise. He's going to carry the product line. George can go on and on. I had given you the submissions on his marketing plan and his experience, just for the sake of brevity. I'm confident that you read them.
Yeah, no,
But
I did.
He'll have, flexibility in pricing and product. He'll do it all. And he's not looking to go head-to-head with the other stores. Again, it's not a race to the bottom with pricing. And George, in and of himself, he'll make this a success, and it won't be at the expense of others. It's going to be a market. I mean, the reference to the population and the summer residents going east, the population in the east end of Long Island, it's tenfold. I represented a store in Southampton, and there were arguments as to the demographics. Those demographics explode by 10 times come the season, and that's what will happen here on the east end.
So what, and I realize this is it's 16 years ago, but what was, you had negative history with us, some kind of?
No, I had a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
A restaurant that had closed.
Okay, and there was a fine, and you just, rather than pay the rest of it, you took the cancel and bond?
I believe so. I deleted that file long ago.
Yeah, no, it was a long time ago. Okay.
But again, he's had the expertise in the industry for 16 years as a solicitor. And I have letters of reference.
Yeah, no, I read that.
You read that. And again, I have additional letters that came in at the 11th hour, and I know I don't want to submit them now, but they pretty much amplify the same thing.
Okay.
We have a candidate here, and its public interest will be served.
And there is convenience because the parking lot is right there. It's 200 spaces. If you were to park at the end of a King Cullen and walk to King Cullen, it's not nearly as far as that.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
I think it does meet the public convenience and advantage requirement, in as much as that you're nestled within a bunch of other businesses that might be a destination in and of themselves, not just you. And other development in the area, so I'm going to vote to approve.
I'm going to vote to approve as well. As I indicated, the store is located on an interior of a shopping, it's not really a plaza, but a shopping location made up of numerous other stores that are all seem to be associated with an inn that's developed nearby. The shopping clearly caters to a variety of different stores, many of which would certainly be complemented by a liquor store, so I think it's definitely a convenience and advantage for the visitors to that location, so I'll vote to approve.
Thank you for your patience.
And I also don't think it's going to affect the nearby stores, because like I said, there is not a convenience factor for the local residents, because really you should be shopping there if you're going to be going in there, so.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Next item is 1298, Nathaniel Green's Public House LLC.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, Commissioner and the Board.
Good afternoon.
All right, so this was confusing to me at first, but
It's extremely confusing.
Could you just note who you are, please?
Sure, my name is Vincenzo Olivieri, sole member of Nathaniel Greens LLC.
so this was somebody, correct me if I'm wrong here, Chris, but somebody defaulted at hearing?
Yeah, there was I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. There was a default at hearing.
No notification, sir.
Okay, hold on.
Sure.
And then we got a CNC once they found out about
And
it.
instead of just processing this as a CNC, It was sent as a request for reconsideration by the prosecutor.
And we still don't have the decision from the ALJ, which I'm assuming will.
Right, it would just be your report saying that there's a default, the
Okay.
charges should be sustained.
So I'll grant the well, I don't even need to grant the reconsideration. I'll accept the late CNC and accept the $2,000 offer, which is what you're here for, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm also here to, there's an applicant that is purchasing my business, and because of this, we found out that this was not dismissed. It came up and he was refused his application.
Yes, that's normal.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So he would have to ask and write to us to reactivate the application.
Is it possible that we can do that? Because from what I understand,
Not
when I
your
was talking.
application, it's his.
Right, I understand that part. But when I was talking to the attorney for the state liquor authority, from what I understand is my offer was basically paying the fine.
Right.
And then when he receives his license, I would relinquish my license.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
But this is a long story here, and
I mean, in order for him to then, his application got disapproved because of your pending fine.
Correct.
What he needs to do now is send an email asking us to reactivate it, which we will do.
Correct.
And then he can go through the process, and once that's done, you can hand yours in.
Okay.
We can't do that today.
Do we have a timeline, you think?
I have no idea. Do you? I mean, it depends, assuming he reactivates it.
Yeah, he's got to reactivate it
And
and
it'd
see
probably
where
be
we were at the process.
Yeah, I don't know where we are at the process, but it's probably partially reviewed already, so it shouldn't be that long.
Sure, okay. Is this going to be a blemish on my record at all? I mean.
I don't remember what, no, it wouldn't affect you getting another license, no.
Okay. The only reason why I'm asking is because when I asked for discovery in the beginning, when I found out that I was being alleged that one of my bartenders overpoured, I wish I would have known a little bit earlier because they gave me a notice way over 8 months, 6 months, I apologize. 6 months when the incident occurred. Incident occurred on December.
Unfortunately, I'd like to be able to do that, but a lot of times they're referrals from the police department, so we get them late. Or, when it's our investigators doing it, I try to make sure that they go out and notify the owners as quickly as possible, but even that takes, 10 days. This, based on the date and when you were notified, would lead me to believe it was the local police department who then sent us a referral, and we have no control over when they send that in. So
No,
they could have sent that to us 6 months later.
It was an agent.
Agent for us?
Yes, that's what I was told.
No, that you could be right, I don't
No,
know.
I'm just saying, because here's.
But this will not, you have very minor history here, so if you were to reapply for a license, it's not going to affect
Yeah,
you.
I mean, I've been great, we've been open for 11
Yeah,
years.
so I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, so have him reapply it, or reactivate it?
Yes, yep, and assuming I assume what
Yes,
you're.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a great day.
The next case is 1337, Carmelo's Wine and Liquor Corp.
Good. That was 2 off. 1 off. Another liquor store.
Hello, good morning. I'm Salvatore Calabro.
Good morning, I'm Alex Calabro.
I'm Nick Calabro, and we are.
You
the
guys are all
owners-
brothers?
Yes. We are the owners of the proposed liquor store Carmelo's Wine and Liquor, located at 1403 B 38th Drive.
Is there any opposition here? Okay, just for the record, we did receive 2 opposition letters plus a resident opposition who doesn't want the store there. Okay, go ahead.
Well, we chose the name after our father, who has been established in the area for over 45 years now.
And who apparently loaned you the money for this endeavor.
Yes, yes.
He's as
He owns
crazy
the
as you
building
are.
as well.
He owns the building?
He owns the building, the pizzeria that's attached to the building that's he's owned for the last 20 years. We've grown up in the neighborhood as well, so we know the community very well. We're excited to bring the store to the area, and we chose this location specifically because first, we all live either directly above or near the area.
You live right in the building?
I live above the location of the liquor store.
Okay.
We know the area extremely well, and therefore, we know our proposed market very well. If you look at my exhibits A and A1, you will see the map of the people we want to service.
have an updated map.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Zoom down, goes down, with all the buildings coming up.
Along with these maps, we have Exhibit B1, which show within our target area, there are 2 new constructions and another 2 which have which we have proof of with us today.
These are residential buildings?
Yes, residential buildings. One building located at 1124 31st Avenue has 20 floors with 75 residential units. A second building located at 3143 Vernon Boulevard has 6 floors with 40 residential units. There's a third located at 1453 31st Avenue, which has 8 floors and 33 dwelling units plus commercial space. And a fourth at 1102 30th Drive with 142 apartments just a few feet away from our store.
And how many of your competitors are bulletproof?
One one of them is completely bulletproof.
Which one?
Astoria.
Liquor store, Astoria Liquor Store?
Yeah.
Okay, and then is the one that's closest, Crescent Wine and Spirits, is that open floor plan, or are they?
It's open floor plan, but they have no signage on the window, no storefront, no name on the store.
No street presence.
Okay, and you guys are going to be open floor plan?
Yes. Yes, we tend to cater to.
And you're both going to, all three are going to work there every day?
Yeah. The point alone means that there's hundreds of new possible clientele specifically in our target area, and that we intend not to interrupt the sales of the current stores. With that in mind, if you look at the map, you will see that while there are stores in the area, every single one of my competitors is on its own major throughway, while I plan to service a very specific few blocks focusing mostly on the residential clientele that is currently underserviced. My first competitor is on 30th Avenue and Crescent Street, a major avenue. My second and third competitors are on Astoria Boulevard, which is the largest boulevard in the area. And my fourth competitor is on 21st Street, just a few feet away from Astoria Boulevard. Each competitor has its own major area. Anyone living on 31st Drive, 31st Avenue, 30th Drive, 30th Road, between 21st Street, going up to Vernon Boulevard will come to my store before they get to the closest competitor, which means I can serve a public convenience and advantage. All these points, especially with the 4 new developments, show that I have a good area to service without interrupting the clientele of my current competitors.
What are you going to do that they don't do as far as service or product?
We plan to offer tastings, reward systems. 20% of our SKU will cater to local wine and liquors distributors. Also, we like to target internet sales and delivery, which we've noticed that none of our competitors are advertising or promoting.
So you're going to have delivery?
Yes.
What about Greek products?
We're going to tend to cater to European wines as well, as far as 19 other additional wines that we've noticed were not offered at any of the other competitors.
How do you know that? Did you go to the
Yes,
store?
we've been to each store several times, took pictures, spoke to, the people running the store. When I picture our location, I'm aiming to specifically, I'm aiming to cater to a specific ambiance that is currently missing in that area. I want the customers that come in to learn about the wine that they're buying and to be greeted by knowledgeable staff.
So the one question I have is, why a liquor store?
It's been something that we've talked about for a long time and something that we've been very interested in doing. We also have a lot of family members that has connects to local distributors that can help us to grow. And
Like what family members and what distributors? Like brothers or sisters or?
Our neighbors work for Empire Merchants.
Or your neighbors, so they're not related to you?
No, they're not.
Okay.
What are your hours? What do you plan hours to be?
We plan to open 11 to 12.
Well, you can't be open till 12, correct? 10, I think, right?
Yeah, 10.
I'm sorry, 10 o'clock.
That's all right.
Bless you.
Yeah.
You might want to check that before.
No, it's something else.
Yeah, we plan to be open till 10 o'clock.
No,
12?
yeah, it's New York City, it's 12.
Oh, it is?
We are in New York City.
Okay. So you can, you already did check it.
Yeah, you did check.
I didn't check
Where
it.
it is, yeah, story.
Okay. Any questions?
Is there a restriction of the delivery hours as far as if it's?
No, if you're open, you can deliver.
Yeah, we plan to push that heavily.
Any questions?
No, I'm good. I think with the, all the new housing development that's going up in the area, you're going to be an open floor plan. I'm looking at the other stores. One of your competitors is sales over 8 million. The other one, fourth closest, is slipping a little bit, but still over 700,000. And third closest is going up. The other one, second closest, we're looking at gross sales from a previous owner, so we don't know what the new one's going to do yet. The other one, I'm not quite sure, your closest one, but you're doing 805 square feet out of 1,500, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, I think that there would be a public convenience and advantage served. You guys seem to have your act together, so I'm willing to approve.
And your father's right next door.
Yeah, he's out back.
And it won't be the first time he's kicked your butt, I'm sure.
I'm going to approve as well. There's clearly 4 multi-floor residential buildings going up surrounding this location. And there is a neighborhood that looks like they will present a convenience and advantage to, and based on their presentation of their business model, I think there is a public convenience and advantage. So, good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next item is 1366I, Las Vinas of Mineola LLC.
Good morning.
No, it's
afternoon. Oh, good afternoon.
Could you just state your names, please?
My name is Marco Storga.
My name is Victor Stroboga.
You guys are going to open a restaurant? Is that what this is?
I am.
And who, you're the representative? Okay. Are you familiar with the history of this place?
Yes, I've heard stories from neighbors and people in the neighborhood.
You have a nice letter here from the village in support of you.
Yes.
So, no DJs, no live music, no promoters, it's going to be a legit restaurant?
Correct.
All right.
Pre-recorded background music only?
Yes.
What's your experience in restaurant business? Do you have any?
My family has been in the restaurant business since I was born. I've always worked in catering and restaurant business my whole life. I've been on Telemundo, I've been on Univision doing small show segments. I've done festivals in Bryant Park, in Union.
So you're going to be doing the cooking and?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a menu in here? What are your hours?
From 4 p.m. to 10. Monday through Thursday, on the weekends from 12 to 10 p.m.
All right.
Very reasonable hours.
I'll vote to approve. The town obviously is in favor, or I don't know if they're in favor, but they clearly have no objection. And given the history here, I believe if they had concerns, we certainly would have heard about them. And we did get a letter indicating that they have no objection.
Noted for close at 10 p.m., is that what they?
No, I'm not
or
gonna-
just you don't even worry about it? Okay.
So I'll vote to approve.
I approve as well.
Thank you.
Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is actually a number of items, 1278, 1366J, 1366K, and 1366L, Mangiaroni LLC. It's all one item. It's not-
Good afternoon, Thomas McCallum. I'm here with former licensee principal, Tarek Alam. I'm here this afternoon to address the conditional no contest, which is before the members, and the prior proceedings which I appeared at. I appeared before the members a few weeks back. At that point in time, there was a great deal of discussion on the method of operation and what went forward, proposed changes to that, which were being implemented. The members imposed a $10,000 civil penalty and a change in the method of operation. I had been substituted out. I had appeared on that matter because that was the matter I was involved with. After that, my appearance at that point in time, I've come to learn that the licensee submitted a conditional no contest plea to the charges which are before you today. I had called to make inquiry on the status of when the civil penalty would be addressed, and that's when I found out that the business is closed, the license was surrendered.
So basically, you're telling us we're not getting our $10,000.
Well, no, and I'm not going to be that blunt, but I'm going to get to that point. And what I came to discover was, and I insisted he come up here today. It was Mr. Alam's understanding that the conditional no contest plea consolidated any and all proceedings.
No, I mean, that's what I tried to tell you last time, and I realized you weren't part of this case then. But I saw where this was going, and I was trying to save everybody time and money.
No, and I'm aware, but again, they wanted to operate and they wanted to fight it, and it went on, and that was changed. So when it came to my
So you
question,
want to condense everything?
Correct. He is, you wouldn't wish enemies the debt that he has, and right now, he surrendered the premises in order to be released from his personal guarantee on the lease and a $1.8 million SBA loan. That $10,000 is going to go towards getting release of the personal guarantee with the landlord. So
Okay.
I'm here to have it all consolidated, and it's
Do we have that case here, or can you pull that,
Okay.
can you add that case on, Tom?
You're not, you mean the one that we
I'm not
already
here with this,
resolved?
I'm not here for the conditional contest before you today, but the matter which has a civil penalty due on Friday, I'm asking that be modified and amended and merged into this
But if
global.
you're not the attorney of record on this matter.
I'm not.
No, he's the attorney of record on the one that we already did.
The attorney of record was unable to make it today due to a conflict, and the licensee asked that I appear, and I said I would.
And he's here, so he can say it. How hard is that to consolidate? Tom?
Well, I mean, considering the conduct, I think it's inadvisable, frankly.
We're not going to get it anyway.
That's true, but I mean, sir, you do realize that you do have an active other license, right, with an availing conviction on it, right? The conduct described in here is so atrocious that I would be able to go against your other license as well. I mean, it is indescribable that we are still here, and I do commend you for coming and surrendering your license after the last time we were here. I do, and you absolutely did. But it's incomprehensible that you are not just walking out the door, paying the fine, taking the CNC as opposed to a revocation, and moving on.
What is the other license? I wasn't aware he had, I must have been aware of it. I'm not aware of it here, though.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to clear up is if it's not paid, it's a revocation. So now we're discussing eliminating the revocation and
That's
just tossing that case in.
That's correct, in the global CNC.
What's his other?
Talking about the first and second proceedings, Tom?
It's
The one that-
it's serial
the one
number
that was already
11.
resolved. If it's not paid, $10,000 is not paid by Friday, we're sitting on a revocation order. So as I understand
I
it-
understand that, but what's the
I
other?
don't think Mr. Ford.
Yeah, he
Mr.
does.
Ford is-
He does. What's the other?
1167358.
What's the name of it, though?
Scarlato.
Where is it?
250 West 47th Street.
And that's a licensee with partners.
That is correct.
That's
That is
correct. So again, there's a
But it does
there's a degree.
inure to the entire, I mean.
All right, you need a
But
break
this-
anyway, don't you? We're going to take 2 minutes.
Thank you.
We back on, Donald? So I think what I'm willing to do is, I can't let the 10,000 go. So I will give 10,000 and cancel all of it, and throw it all in together.
Okay, do you understand that?
Yeah, Your Honor, there's any way you can give me the
Well,
time?
Right, again,
Pay?
at this point in time, the request is for an extension on the payment of the $10,000. The premises.
Well, you're going to get an extension simply because this has got to go out, right, Tom?
Well, no, it's due on Friday.
You know, no, that's being revised now. There's going to be a new letter going out, okay? So you are getting more time.
Okay. Time.
There'll be a new letter going out saying that the counteroffer for all these, and if you accept it, it will indicate that, is 10,000 in cancellation of the license.
Okay, you understand that? No, everything will be merged into that.
And that will probably be, however length of time you had to pay the last 10,000, that will be the length of time you get on this, whatever that is.
And then
It
you can-
starts from the date you get the letter.
Okay, you understand? Okay.
Now, are you accepting that?
Yes, we are accepting that.
Okay.
All right, thank you,
Commissioner
thank you
Ford,
again.
Yes, 10,000.
For your courtesy.
All right, thanks.
Next item is 1366A, Caribbean LLC. Nobody's here for that? The downtown Galway hooker? Nothing?
What is it?
I'm just reading the title. I saw the title, I thought of Mr. Palillo, so All right, the next item, 1366E.
How do we pass that name out? Don't we usually?
No, we
don't have any
can't,
Did you see the latest Supreme Court decision?
Well, we can,
I was going to say, Chairman.
we can do that. Oh, we're going to wait for Flynn?
Mr. Flynn's downstairs. So.
Oh, okay, we'll wait for him then. Go ahead.
So these may be his. The next one is his as well, so.
Sorry.
1366.
Next one is his.
No.
Next one is his. We're just going through the Terry Flynn collection here. $1267 Entree Amigo Restaurant.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioner Ford, Ms. Held, Donahue, Rihanna, Gus. I'm here on Entre Amigos. They've had a disciplinary on unlicensed security guards.
Okay. I'm going to withdraw the charge 5 at the request of counsel's office.
So we then have 4 counts of unlicensed security guards?
Correct.
Let me ask you, I have a quick question. Would the mitigation of the fine be the appearance, because they're licensed, they just,
One charge is not
it's local
security
rights.
guard. It has to do with not having,
Roster.
not maintaining general liability insurance.
Okay.
And the fine,
Do they have licensed security guards now?
they do. They can submit the contract into Ms.
No, I
Held,
don't.
Or they know.
I mean, we'll find out if they don't.
And they have insurance.
What about insurance? Yes, okay.
You got a number in your mind?
Since 1916, couple of things, yeah. I was going to say 2,000.
3,500 for me. So we'll split it.
Can we do 2,500?
3,000.
3,000 it is.
The next item is 1357 through 1358, 3363 LLC.
Made in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And just for the record, it's my understanding that
Yeah, It's already been canceled.
Yeah, the appeal proceedings have been dropped from both, so just for the record, I just want to make
So
sure.
I'm going to cancel for the record.
I just wanted to add to the record that the licensee wanted it to be added to the record that the cabaret law is looking to be repealed. She doesn't feel that because they were dancing at the location, her license should have been canceled, and she wants it noted
Is
on
she
the
aware
record.
of everything else that she got charged with over the last 2 years?
DJ and violations, however, they wanted that on the record for
Okay. But
logistical
she,
reasons.
and for the record, she also pre-mixed, she
That's not
had
terminal.
DJs, she had lack of security guards, not in this case, but in earlier cases. She had noise nuisance charges.
And the craziness is the community board's 100% on board with them. They like them, they're good operators, they have had no violence at the location. It's terrible that we're losing another restaurant on that strip because there are not that many.
This is also sale to minor.
This is the new one, the one that came up recently. They have video, they're saying it's not. But it's canceled now, so what does it matter?
Cancel and bond. I mean, not bond, just cancel for the record.
Oh, and I wanted noted that she's selling, so you'll never see Jackie here again. The purchaser is their license is, their application is flagged. Can we unflag that application so it can move forward?
Are you representing them?
Yeah. No, I started it, but they're looking for counsel
Have
on the other
them send
license.
a
Okay.
notification that
I
they would
just
like
want to
it.
close that out fully. Okay.
All right, the next item is 1340, Laleo Inc.
No, it's.
No,
oh,
that was signed in afterwards, so I'm going to take them in the order they were signed in.
1340.
Afternoon, Kerry Katsouris for the applicant.
Afternoon. Where is he?
He wasn't supposed to be here. This was the Article 78 proceeding.
No, I know, it came back, but we're supposed to,
This is the application itself.
yeah, we're re-examining the application.
I really didn't know whether or not he was to appear. I apologize for that.
I think he needs to be here because we still, this place, because of its history, and I do want to talk to him about his place in the Dominican Republic, which appears to be a nightclub, which is what the community board's concern with this place is. So I think he does need to be here. So what do you want to do?
Put it over so we can get him over here.
Is he in the country?
Honestly, I don't know.
What's the date, Tom?
We got July 12th, July 26th, August 16th.
Try July 12th, if that's okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
1340.
1347 through 1349, Foundational Lounge Corp.
I'm going to get this one again, right?
Yeah.
See, basically, knew Galway Hooker was Flynn, but he's still associated with me, right?
I never thought it was associated with you. There's not any Irishman in his right mind who would hire you.
Good afternoon, my name is Frank Palillo, let's offer a compromise before you.
So they got a plan to change what they're doing here?
Mr. Chairman, I've just been reviewing everything, to be honest. There's so much stuff here that either happened next door when the premises were closed, or happened on the street when the premises were closed. We are making an offer in compromise because certain things did happen inside the premises. We have hired a new security company to correct that. We're trying to work with the neighbors.
Well, the dancing didn't occur next door.
No, I'm talking about the items that were outside.
Yeah, but
the
the-
dancing, absolutely.
Yeah,
But even the investigator's report is that they were sitting there moving their bodies rhythmically to the music while smoking a hookah.
Well, that's, in
I
any
understand.
dictionary, that's dancing.
I understand. I lost a case 30 years ago with 3 girls sitting at a bar, moving their bodies. That was considered dancing. Their feet were off the floor.
And maybe, as she pointed out, there certainly is pending legislation, and this may be a non-issue in the future.
Maybe there's a crystal ball out there. But no, we have taken the steps to correct it. As you can see, we've had no violations, I think, for nearly a year.
I mean, they begged for the community board begged for these stipulations because they were seriously concerned about what this place would be. And
The community board...
I hate when they're proven right.
They're not. The community board, with all due respect, approved this application with 4 promoted events a week. That's what the stipulation says. Now the community board says, we never said that. Well, it's in their STIP. We don't do 4 promoted events a week. But notwithstanding, I have the STIP right here. You can't say you made a bad deal and we don't like it anymore.
No, but whatever's in the STIPs are in the STIPs. But as you know, this neighborhood,
Is a
if you
tough
chose to be there,
But you do
that
agree.
you got to live with it.
But you do agree that the investigator who went there pretty much indicated that we weren't breaking steps, we were dancing. But he said the security was keeping, there was no more than 3 people on the street at any given time when he was watching it. I mean, it's not like it's a flat, we had food available.
No, but you're fully aware of how we work.
Well,
Which means if we got 3 cases, it means we got enough complaints that sent us out there 3 separate times. So you got to be more
which is why we're here
sensitive
today.
to the neighborhood.
Which is why I didn't try the case, because I actually appeared with the applicant at the community board for the renewal, and we didn't try the case, we've corrected our problems, we're taking a very heavy penalty, and hopefully moving on.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah, you've had your shootings and slashings a lot out front.
Look at the addresses. Look at the addresses, those police reports,
The neighborhood is
But
full
some
of
of those addresses
bars.
for 177th Street that the police put in this packet. They're not for this location.
177th Street?
In the packet, there's a police referral for 177th Street.
Maybe the fight started on Essex
There's
Street.
2 police referrals for 19 Pitt Street.
All right.
Those aren't our locations, but we recognize we did something wrong.
All right.
I could have tried and I didn't, we wanted to-
20,000, accept.
Thank you.
Are you good with me renewing this? Because it's still
Yes.
operating? Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, that was being held over?
No, they're operating under SAPA.
Okay.
There's nothing else pending.
1317, Review Entertainment, Inc.
This is basically housekeeping. I mean, we've had our issues with the authority. This is stuff that came out actually before the last charges were.
Did he just get off a
resolved.
plane or something?
No, he's got a retirement thing
Oh.
this afternoon.
I
He has
still
to go.
train soldiers from time to time.
So, I mean, there was apparently sediment, it wasn't even.
All right, so none of this is a big deal except, once again, the dancing.
Well, we do have a cabaret license.
Oh, you do?
We
Yes,
do.
sir. It
They've walked in. Go ahead.
What happened?
It was renewed. What it is it was during the time the FDNY gives us an annual inspection, and for some reason the cabaret wouldn't allow it until the fire department clears us, make sure we have fireproof curtains and everything. So as it got done, we got our cabaret renewed. It's on the wall. and everything.
FDNY issued violations which held up the renewal of the cabaret. We've
So
always.
you had a cabaret before this, and then you have it now?
Yes, we do.
All right, so I'll dismiss that one. And then I'll take the 5,000 for the 3 others.
Didn't feel like lowering the,
All right, I'll take 4,000 for the 3 others.
he would appreciate it.
Dismiss charge,
He would appreciate it. It would make no difference to me.
dismiss charge 2 and 4,000.
4,000.
Thank you. Have a good holiday, folks.
See ya.
Number 1284, DC 544 West 27th LLC. Yes, that's
Tom, what was that? I'm sorry.
1284.
Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon. I'll accept.
What was this?
750, didn't you put it in?
It's
Oh, no, Bruno
Jaffe,
Jaffe.
750?
Notice of appearance.
No, you know what, if that's 750, can you give me a moment? I need to check with the owner again.
No, there is no checking. She already offered it.
She offered it?
Yeah.
Oh, bueno. Then they told me that they expected Bruno to be here, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
You accepted?
750, accept, yes.
Yeah.
We accept it.
Okay.
Other than Mr. Flynn's items, I have nothing else signed in.
All right. This Tom, I can't even see.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Sorry. All right, then let's go
Okay,
until he gets here.
first item is 1246. You should know that for the last item, adverse history, there was a cancellation order that's been issued that's going to be effective June 28th.
All right, well, this is, the ALJ dismissed the charge, so I'll dismiss.
And I would just,
But I do want to talk to you about.
I would just note that.
Is she correct?
I believe, well, this isn't an OP, so normally this would be charged under 48.2, but it's an RW, therefore it was charged under improper conduct. So there's parts of her decision that I believe, on the record, I'm just noting are incorrect. However, the absolute finding, I don't believe that Mr. Rizzuti put in what he could have, and I do believe it's within the.
But her theory that we have to supply proof that we would actually have denied the license based on this violation is.
Well, we normally would, and so I think that there is a course of conduct that we normally would follow. That being said, I can't necessarily fault her for expecting that within the hearing.
How do we
so-
prove that?
Chairman, that might be a discussion to be had at another time.
Yes, it is.
Because
Yeah.
It involves a lot of things.
Okay. Well, then you and I can talk about it later. But dismiss charge 1.
Dismiss.
1247,
I'll accept.
Accept.
1249, and 1250.
Okay to dismiss one in the first proceeding and one in the second proceeding.
And 6,000 accept?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry, 1250.
Dismiss all charges, 1250, based on the ALJ's decision.
Dismiss.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
1251 and 1252.
Sustain 1 and 2, dismiss 3 and 4, sustain 5, and dismiss charge 1 in the second proceeding. Why didn't we charge for the live music?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look into
Okay.
what was reported.
I'll fine 5,000.
5,000.
1254,
Accept.
6,000 accept.
1255,
I'm going to reduce this to 1,500 due to the long positive history that they've had. Unless Commissioner Ford disagrees.
No, 1,500 I accept.
1256,
Accept.
Accept.
1257,
Accept.
Accept.
1258,
Accept.
I was just going to actually, I believe in 1258, that this charge actually should be withdrawn and dismissed.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't believe that this was charged correctly. This is an extension of premises after somebody brought a beer bottle out of the premises, which is, I believe.
And
a licensee can sell beer to go.
They didn't
So-
and they didn't actually extend the premises. I
Yeah,
thought that
so I
was
think
a-
that there's
Was he,
technicalities here.
was it open?
It doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
Really?
A retail licensee can sell beer to go. It does not have to be, the 106 talks about liquor and wine have to be in sealed containers. You can go in and walk into a bar with having to fill a growler and leave with the beer.
So the only charge here would have to be an open container violation from the
if-
police, which would,
yes.
okay.
Collateral,
All right,
correct.
dismiss.
Glad we agreed on that one, Counselor. All right.
1259,
500.
500.
1260,
Cancel and bond whatever's left of the bond.
Cancel and bond if available. Yep.
1261,
Did we get this?
2522, bad check.
no,
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
1262 to 1263, 4 rather.
Accept.
Accept.
1265,
2,000.
Oh, hang on a second. They were robbed. That was the last, just to start their problems.
Oh, sorry.
No adverse history. How about 1,000?
All right, 1,000.
1266,
9,000.
3 of them, yeah. 9,000.
1268,
Do they have anything open here?
Check. And have they, I don't know, I think they have to pay the last one too.
Oh.
By Friday?
yes.
I mean, if they have something open and they're identical to any of these, then it's over.
I do not have another open case.
All right, I'll accept.
Accept 15,000?
Yep.
Yep.
1269 and 1270,
I'll accept.
Cancel and bond, accept.
1271.
3,000.
3,000, yep, 3,000.
1272.
Letter warning.
Letter of warning.
1273.
Accept.
6,000, accept.
1274.
Accept.
This is the one, what, 25 cents a can, starting at 2, increases 25 cents every half an hour.
So you have to get there early.
Have to get there early.
Which one are you talking about?
1274.
Right, okay.
3,500 accept, okay. I'll ask about that one later.
1275.
Accept.
Accept.
1276, 1277.
Cancel for the record.
Cancel.
1279.
I'll counter at 15,000.
There, I would just note from the memo.
That it's not strong, right? I mean, my problem is they asked for,
Yeah.
they literally checked the guy's ID twice, 2 separate people, and they still sold to him. All right, I'll accept.
10,000 accept.
Yes. They come in again, they're done.
1280.
Accept.
Accept.
1281.
500.
500. Dropping off, yep, 500.
1282.
6,500.
6,500, 1282, yep.
1283.
I just want to note for the record that I spoke with the attorney and just cancel for the record is, it's already canceled.
Yeah, cancel for the record.
Cancel for the record, 1283.
1285.
Accept.
6,500 accept.
1286.
Accept.
6,000 accept.
1287.
Accept.
6,000 accept.
1288.
Accept.
2,500 accept.
1289.
Accept.
This had no backup from NYPD on the sale to the minor or the jukebox volume whatsoever. Not that. All right, 4,500 accept.
1290.
Accept.
Accept.
1291.
Accept.
Accept.
1293.
One protest. We didn't hear from this guy?
Henry was here this morning.
Yeah, he
Or
was
The
here,
attorney was, yeah.
I mean, we have one protest, but the store is literally moving 463 feet directly across the street, across Third Avenue. The 5 closest stores are remaining the same, and this store will be smaller than the existing store.
And it'll still be closest to the protesting, the first closest store, so.
So he's obviously, because he's in a smaller store, he's going to have less products to carry, so it should even be less of an impact, so I'll approve.
Approved, 1293.
Got it.
We both approved, 1293, yep.
1295.
That's been adjourned, right?
Yes, it has. That's been adjourned to
To what?
712.
The whole group of them?
However, it is my understanding, from talking to the attorney, that it may all get resolved as far as everybody's in agreement, so it may not even come back.
Okay.
But I would hold on to it for now.
That's fine with me, I
and
don't
I'll
need
let
to
you
see
know.
it.
Yeah, thanks for reporting it in my lap. That's what the Neighbors Association of Local Residents, you still don't want it here, if they resolve it all? Thanks.
That's what I said to Tom. It's
Mr. Bernstein told me that he thinks everybody's going to agree to all
Oh,
this.
well, he's the optimist, whereas I think I've been around long enough, which probably isn't long enough to be the pessimist.
How long it took to put this together?
Yes, I do have an idea.
1299.
712. 1299, I'll okay to reconsider and accept the checks. We should have a check for $1882 to replace the insufficient funds and $1,000 for the civil penalty.
Awesome.
Accept.
All right, whoops, did I forget? All right, and 1,300.
3,000.
$1,301.
5,000.
First.
It's got to be, it's not signed by the licensee. That was the issue, isn't it?
Yes.
So it has to go back and get signed by the right person? Is that the idea?
What's that?
This one says the 5,000 plea is not signed by the licensee, but by someone else.
Well, it got here. We'll hear about it if it's the wrong person.
All right.
What do you want?
1302?
I'm just saying, what did you want to do with,
I accepted.
I wasn't sure if Commissioner Ford.
He accepted.
All right.
I just had a stupid question.
Wait, 1301.
That was 1301.
Right, so you're accepting as a conditional, no contest?
Oh, it wasn't no, I fined 5,000, I'm sorry.
That's what, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
1302.
250, accept.
Accept.
1303.
I want to note for the record, still in hearing? Okay. I want to note for the record, I believe the ALJ's decision is incorrect. I believe charge number 2, even based on the facts that are within the ALJ's decision, should be sustained, and the board should sustain all of the charges in this particular matter.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, because it's hard for me to believe that there was alcohol being sold at the birthday party, and he didn't know about it.
Yep.
And he had to know he wasn't permitted to do
I
it.
believe
so-
substantial evidence shows that the licensee violated ABCL 111.
So I'm going to sustain 1, 2, and 3, and cancel and bond. Oh, did I cancel and bond?
Cancel and bond.
No, hold on, I don't know that I want to do that. I am sustaining 1, 2, and 3, but I don't know that I... Yeah, cancel and bond.
And Commissioner Ford, you're still good with that?
Yes, cancel and bond.
All right. 1304.
Accept.
1304, 2,500, accept.
1305.
6,000.
1305, 6,000, yep.
1306.
Sustain charge 1, 3,500.
3,500.
1307.
Sustain charge 1, cancel and bond. And make sure any application in the future comes to the board for this place. How do I do that, Jackie? Just
I
a
got it. I got
location
it.
stop, or?
Yeah, no, just, it's a directive. I'll put it on this one, any new applications to full board.
Okay.
And Commissioner Ford?
Yes.
Okay. 1308 and 1309.
I had dismiss.
Dismiss all of it?
Everything's been,
No, I think that's incorrect.
1308 and 1309?
Yeah, it's withdraw charge 1, sustain 2, sustain 3, sustain 4, withdraw 5,
Please go ahead.
dismiss 6, dismiss 1, sustain 2, and withdraw 3. Yeah, there's a typo in the,
Yes.
yeah, in the
Yeah.
decision, but if you go to the back page of the decision, that's accurate.
I fell for it, sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah.
And I have 6,000.
6,000.
1310, 1311.
I'll accept.
6,500, accept.
1312.
Accept.
Accept.
1313.
Sustain 1, sustain 2, dismiss 3, sustain 4, sustain 5. There's a letter of mitigation. He basically accepts all the findings and asks us to
Mercy.
show mercy.
Employees.
I'll take,
He's offered 10.
I'll take 10,000.
Aren't they asking us to,
That's what he wanted.
10,000 accept then?
1314.
I'll accept.
5,000 accept, since they're all in the same night, huh?
1315.
3,000.
3,000.
1316.
We don't give 2 letters of warning, right?
You do.
So what is it after this,
we-
500?
For this charge, that's what we've been doing, whether or not we should be. That's what we have been doing.
I had 500.
500, that's what I had too. So we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah, that's fine.
1318.
Is there still an outstanding bond? Do we usually cancel when there's outstanding bond claim? Jackie?
You would charge, it would have to be charged. Or do you mean like, right now, the bonding, well, according to the agenda sheet, the bonding company hasn't paid until such time it's paid.
So that's the only reason there's no bond available, because they haven't exhausted it yet.
There's a claim.
So it's basically being crossed in the mail. All right, 2,500.
2,500.
1319.
Accept.
3,500 accept.
1320.
Accept.
250 accept.
1321.
I read his mitigation letter, but I'm accepting the plea.
6,000 accept.
1322.
Accept.
Accept.
1323.
Accept.
1,500 accept.
1324.
Accept.
Cancellation and civil penalty, so that's the 1,000 bond, accept.
1325.
Letter of warning, accept. Oh, no, just a letter of warning, I'm sorry.
Letter of warning.
1326.
Accept. Can you do that too for me?
1,500 accept.
What's that say?
1329.
Hold on 1 second. That's why I said send them back, okay. Accept.
Before you call the next item, I was just updating the removal, item 1293, and it appears that a withdrawal letter was received by Mr. Wormakowski for the removal.
From him.
Yes.
So
Dated
withdraw
June
it
5th.
then.
It's
When?
so June 5th, well, it's the date of his letter. Missed that.
So they're not moving?
They're not moving.
Okay, withdraw that,
It'll
accept.
be withdrawn.
Was that 1323?
1293.
1293.
Yeah.
So we're going back, you're going to rescind the approval and it's going to
Just recall it and we'll do it again.
We're going to recall 1293.
So it just came to our attention from Ms. Held that we earlier received a withdrawal letter from council on this application for a removal. They didn't indicate why they were withdrawing, but they nonetheless withdrew, so we are rescinding our approval. And the case will be withdrawn.
All right.
You agree, Commissioner
Yeah, that
Ford?
was removal across the street.
Yes, yep.
Yes, yes.
All right, we were in the middle then of 1329, the $10,000 CNC.
I'll accept.
Accept.
1330.
Accept.
Accept.
1331.
Normally, I would deny because the person didn't appear, but based on the fact that the nearest store is 12.6 miles away, it appears that there is no other store in this village, and it is
It's actually in Lion Mountain too, not Dannemora.
It's what?
It's actually in Lion Mountain, not Dannemora.
and it is, you live in this area, don't you, Commissioner?
I'm very familiar with it.
So it's a vacation area, and there would be a public convenience and advantage.
Absolutely, yes.
So I'll vote to approve.
I voted to approve as well.
And I note that the applicant has a house, I mean, indicates he lives in California, but I know that he also has a house in the general vicinity of where this store is going to be a vacation house. And he indicates he's going to have a manager, so.
1332 is held over to July 12th. 1335.
This is on the northwest tip of,
But this was disapproved. I need to see these people. Because we had some serious concerns. Didn't you, Jackie, before? Is it all cleared up?
It has been cleared up. I mean, it's the part across the street where we have it as a condition that he's going to have to apply for a branch office. It's, for the most part, clarifying that they have this whole two-part system here.
And the inconsistencies with the relationship to Seneca Shores is cleared up? They were doing custom crush?
Never, it didn't come back fully explained, let's put it that way. If you want them to come in, I don't know how far Yates or Branchport
No,
is.
it's pretty far.
they'd have to go to.
Buffalo, right?
They go to Buffalo. That's Finger Lakes Country.
Are you comfortable with this at this point? All right, I'll approve it.
I'll approve as well.
1341.
What about 39? Oh, that's Flynn.
Yes.
1341.
Getting it back, is that what 1339 is?
Yes.
1341, okay, I'll reconsider, because we did get the money and accept a civil penalty as well of $1,000.
Civil penalty of $1,000 accepted.
All right, 1342 has been held over to 712. 1343 to 712.
What was 42?
42, 43, and 44
For Jensen.
are the other ones related to the Jensen.
Oh, I got them all together, okay.
Yes. So now we're down to 1345.
$8,000. This was 3 days after we literally told them that we would not allow a DJ.
$8,000, yeah.
And and if they do have a change of operation, have that come to the board?
Or Zero Lounge?
Yep.
1345. Any method of op?
Method of op change, yeah.
So you're on board with that, Commissioner?
Yes, yes.
Okay. 1346.
Cancel for the record.
Cancel.
1350.
6,500.
6,500.
And Rite Aid seems that they have some problems in their communication within their company.
1352, just to note, the civil penalty was paid a few days ago, so the cancellation did not go into effect.
1352?
Yes.
What's the?
See,
Oh, I'll go do it. I'll accept the letter of warning.
Letter of warning is fine.
1354.
Counter at 2,500. I don't know where we got the 1,500.
2,500.
Generally goes down 500 for good behavior.
1355,
I'll accept.
5,000, accept.
1356,
Accept.
45, accept.
1359,
Accept.
Accept.
1360 and 61.
9,500. And their pending sale as a non-calendar item, they'll get their 2,500. But I'm treating this sale as a second sale.
So 9,500?
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
All right, 9,500.
1362,
Cancel and bond, accept.
Cancel and bond, accept.
1363 through 1365.
Cancel and bond, accept. Can you email Flynn and?
Actually, Paul, is he still in the hearing? He is. Do you want me to have
Okay.
him brought up, Chairman?
Cancel and bond, accept.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Yeah, probably.
who's he doing the hearing with?
Do you know who the hearing's with, Paul? Margarita. I think it should be fine to interrupt for him to come up.
All right, yeah, can you go down and just tell him we'll be ready for him in 1 minute?
Thanks, Paul.
Go ahead. So I accept that too, Tom, whatever, the cancel and bond.
Okay, 1366.
I'll accept.
9,000, accept.
Everything else I have
It's Terry.
is Mr. Flynn's.
366C is Flynn?
I thought so, hold on for a second. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, there's two, C is Mr. Flynn's. Let me go back and check. Yes, C is Mr. 1366F, though.
It's not.
That was stuck to my other one, we still have that one.
Oh. There, 4,000. I had accept.
Okay, I'll accept. So I'll vote to reconsider and accept the 4,000.
Okay, so with that, the only ones I have left are Mr. Flynn's matters.
What about 1366G?
We did that. No, I'm sorry, that is one of Mr. Flynn's matters.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Just so you know, the ones we have still waiting,
All right, so take a break until he gets here.
All right, we're back on the record with the remaining items from the calendar. See if we have them in order here. All right, the first item, 1339,
Let's save that one for last and go through the other ones first.
okay. 1366A,
I'll accept.
Accept.
1366C, for Opry and Spirit LTD.
I'll accept. That's 20,014 days?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll accept.
Accept.
1366E, 159 Huntington Holdings, Inc.
I went to their website, and other than the fact that I'm a fan of the band, these guys are advertising all this stuff regularly.
The DJ's been removed. It's all.
So it's all corrected.
It's all been corrected. That's all been done. In fact, we are just giving a notification now to go back to the community board about the DJ.
Okay, so I'll accept that.
Accept.
1366G, 1629 Second Restaurant LLC.
How did this, these weren't pending when these got approved, Jackie, I assume? I'm seeing the dates. It was that the date was 10/31 and it was approved on 12/12, so I'm assuming.
The pleading went out in November.
Okay. So they get a break. All right, I'll accept.
Accept.
And then back to 1339.
Got a lot going on here. And I noticed none of them are here.
No, I didn't have them come, for simple reasons. They're not exactly all on the same page as far as getting along. Let me try and explain what unbelievably occurred here. These people, as you know, had an availing charge against them for the same place where you canceled this license.
Correct.
They actually bought this place, did a closing with attorneys,
And there are attorneys.
and one of them is an attorney.
Right. Only one, or
Well,
what's the other guy?
One is an attorney, the other's a litigating
Okay.
attorney. But the other guy's a transactional attorney, which is even more unbelievable. And the seller's attorney told them that they could not consummate the purchase or file until the notes were paid in full. So they actually went through it, operated. None of them have an impediment to being licensed at all. The SLA knew nothing of this, paid the note in full over the 2 years, and then immediately filed with the SLA, and the SLA picked it up that they did this the wrong way. So they weren't trying to get around anything. They were just stupid. That none of them have an impediment to being licensed.
Herein lies the problem. They do have an impediment now,
Which is?
that they've been charged with the availing.
That there was a cancellation, but that.
No, they've been charged on their other license with this availing.
The one guy has been charged on the other, which I am in the process of dealing with counsel's office on. That has to be dealt with for the other premise. There wasn't availing at the other premise, it was.
No,
this-
are we talking about the same thing, Chris?
Yeah, no, I'm following, but yeah, we
Yeah.
do have at the pending charges as you're admitting to.
The pending charges that I'm referring to result back to the previous license availing, not availing at the other premise.
There's so much, and I think that you would admit, Terry,
Yeah.
there is just so much here that I think, I mean, at this point, I'm sure that, I'm sure you're representing in case 118434 as well, since you've admitted that you know about that. Regarding the.
GSCR, is that what you're referring to?
Yes. For improper conduct relating to the availing.
The availing at this location. Right, that's what I'm trying to say to you. This availing at this location has led to the charges now at another
Montauk,
location.
right.
Right, exactly. again, nobody was trying to hide anything from anybody. These people were just.
I know, but it makes me feel a lot better if they come in and tell me
All right,
that.
then, look, I'll bring them in then. Every attorney handles things differently.
No, and I get, and my problem is it's coming from you, and I'm not saying that I don't believe you, but we're talking about what amounts to, in my estimation, some of the more sophisticated people we actually deal with here, who now I'm to believe are acting like the least sophisticated people. And, all these guys have as much, if not more, education than I have.
Believe me, when I saw what happened, and I said, well, wait a second, you actually waited the 2 years, paid the note, and then filed with the SLA. Like they weren't hiding anything. They disclosed everything to the SLA. It wasn't as if they were trying to go behind anybody's back door and do something. They actually told you this is what we did.
Who represent, who?
It wasn't me.
I'm not accusing you.
I'm sorry, I'd have to get this.
I mean, and I feel for you because I know this is when they're supposed to be making their money. But I also know that
When is the next meeting, Mr. Chairman?
Can I just suggest something as well?
Sure.
I'm assuming that you're going to want to put this over, which is why you're asking for the next meeting. You may want to buy, and I'm just making a suggestion, maybe the next meeting's not enough time, because you might, if possible, want to clear this up with Mr. Amarato. Put this all behind.
I've already called Michael, except he's been busy on another case, so he hasn't been able to give me a number on it.
Well, we have 3 weeks till the next meeting,
Right,
so that's.
yeah.
All right, so 7/12.
7/12.
Because I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but I don't need all 3 of them, but somebody needs to come in and explain themselves. And I'd like one of the lawyers to be the guy that did it.
I would feel a lot better if somebody else was explaining it as well.
I mean, rarely do you see this many
and rarely do you
sophisticated businessmen come in and try to do something, and then these are the guys that are telling me, oh, we didn't know what we were doing.
And my other practical problem is what attorney wants to come up here and tell you, yeah, I was an idiot.
No, I get it. But that's part of the.
But they're going to have to bite the bullet. I understand.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
That's fine. That's fine.
So they can roll dice. I don't need all of them, but I need somebody.
That's fine. I will have one of the attorneys here to deal with it. Okay?
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
See
Have
ya.
a great 4th of July holiday.
You too. So we're adjourned.